Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Minnesota.
The Twins have arrived in Cincinnati for the first time in 3 years. It's only their second series with the Reds since 2002, and there is a buzz of excitement throughout the city as the site of this year's All-Star Game now just 2 weeks away. It's one of the great baseball cities in the nation, and tonight Great American Ballpark plays host to the series opener between the Twins and Reds. Mike Pelfrey will start for the Twins, and he's pretty familiar with the Reds after spending most of his career in the National League. He's got a winning record versus the Reds, including a complete game in his last start against them in 2011. Meanwhile, Mike Leake will face Minnesota for only the second time in his career, and he has been lights out in his last 5 starts. Welcome inside Great American Ballpark on a beautiful Monday evening. I'm Jamie Hirsch. Well, for the final series this season, the Twins will be without the designated hitter as they are in a National League ballpark. Here's what you need to know for the start of this 3-game interleague series. Keep an eye out for lots of extra base hits. Todd Frazier leads the majors with 47 of them, including a whopping 25 home runs, and Brian Dozier not far behind him. Dozier has 23 doubles, 3 triples, and 15 homers. 41 extra base hits total. Dozier's been part of a power surge for the Twins lately. They are averaging nearly a home run per game over the last 5 weeks, and the power coming from a variety of sources. Whichever team takes the lead into the 9th has a pretty good shot of securing the win. That is because both teams have an elite closer between Glenn Perkins, a perfect 24 for 24, and Aroldis Chapman hitting triple digits on the radar gun, more than anybody in the game today. Still to come before first pitch, Dick and Bert will take a look at the impressive numbers put up by Twins starters, led by tonight's starter, Mike Pelfrey.
gets a strikeout.
See if he tries to drop that splitter.
That was it right there. Back it up. Another one. It's got him. Another 3-up, 3-down inning. Outstanding. That was a beauty. Hughes sticks the glove down. What I found. Game in and game out, the Twins starters are doing their part, keeping the team in the game, giving them a chance to win a ball game. Second to Tampa Bay since the middle of June in terms of starters ERA. And we welcome you to Great American Ballpark. Dick Raymer and Bert Blylev, and I have a proclamation to make, something I've not said in quite some time. 75 games into the season, and the strength of this Minnesota Twins team is its starting pitching.
Yeah, you couldn't say that for about 4 years, but yeah, the starters have done a great job. You know, you're going to lose some close ball games. You're going to win some close ball games. Twins starters have allowed the Twins to do that. 2.98 earned run average, everybody contributing, all 5 starters, 56 strikeouts, only 19 walks in the 85 innings, and one guy that probably has been the most consistent, that man right there, Mike Pelfrey. My goodness, has he been consistent in April, May, and June? Now, he has had some success here in Cincinnati, but over his last 13 starts, 2.80 ERA, and remember, that ugly outing he had in Texas where he gave up 8 earned runs, or that ERA would be a lot less.
And so the question for the Twins and for the Reds, where will the run scoring come from? Well, for the Twins, it has come and centered around Brian Dozier, and for the Reds, around Todd Frazier. We'll be back with the opening game of this 3-game series in a moment. Drive to left center field. It is back. It is gone. Dozier has time, underhands it, and makes the play to end the inning. The blast to left, gone into the second deck. And Brian Dozier's ready to lead things off. He has done very well this year, first among Major League second basemen in a lot of key categories, yet he is not going to be voted to the All-Star team. The hope is that he will be named and will come back here to Cincinnati in a couple of weeks. First pitch taken for a strike. Don't see Brian take many first pitch strikes. It'll be Dozier, Mauer, and Hunter here in the first inning.
And he'll be facing Mike Leake, making his 16th start of the season.
Strike 2. And Dozier, who ended the ball game yesterday, upset with the strike zone. Not too happy with Bob Davidson's first 2 strike calls here tonight. On the ground, left side, scooped up by Frazier on the run, and on target throw, one away. Large batting order for the Twins. Dozier followed by Mauer hitting up into the number 2 spot. Torrey Hunter hitting 3rd for the first time this year. Then Trevor Plouffe, Eddie Rosario, Kurt Suzuki, Eduardo Escobar, Mike Pelfrey, and Danny Santana.
Yeah, Mike Leake, as I mentioned, making his 16th start, his second career start against the Twins. He faced the Twins here back on June 24th of 2012, the last time the Twins were here in Cincinnati. And his mound opponent was Scott Diamond, and he left after 8 innings with a 3-2 lead, and that's the game that Josh Willingham hit the 2-run home run off of Chapman for the Twins' victory.
Mauer lashes it to center. Billy Hamilton over there and stumbles and makes the catch. We'll see if the Twins want another look at that. Hamilton with great speed. He didn't take the most direct route to it.
Well, you can see by the shadow of Hamilton that sun is directly in his eyes, and also the left fielder. So
that's going to be close.
Ball, if he got the glove on it.
I think he caught it.
Yeah, it looked like he caught it.
Remember the other day in Milwaukee, the Twins used their challenge, I think, in the 2nd inning, and it ended up costing them in the 6th inning when the challenge was not overturned. I'll show you the Northland Ford defense for the Reds. Marlon Byrd in left, Hamilton in center, Jay Bruce in right. Frazier, Suarez, DeJesus, Votto the infielders, and Tucker Barnhart doing the catching.
Yeah, Mauer comes hustling back to the dugout. They will not have a replay on that.
Here's Torrey Hunter with a couple of quick outs in the first. Outside, ball 1. Torrey with a productive final 2 games in Milwaukee. And these days, that's about all it takes to move into the 3rd spot in the Twins lineup. Twins lineup is struggling to score runs. Some of that is the National League style of play, of course. On the ground, hit right to Ivan DeJesus. And the 2nd-generation infielder makes the play, and the Twins go down 1-2-3 in the first. Mike Pelfrey will take the mound for the Twins when we come back. Coaching staff in Seattle a few years ago, and Price hoping his team can get to where the Twins are at and then above the 500 mark. And the Menards batting order for the Reds: Billy Hamilton, the speedster, leading off. Ivan DeJesus Jr., Joey Votto, Todd Frazier, Jay Bruce, Marlon Byrd, Tucker Barnhart, Eugenio Suarez, and then Mike Leake.
Yeah, Price the pitching coach and Paul Molitor the hitting coach for the Marlins when they were together. And here's Mike Pelfrey making his 15th start of the year. I mentioned he's had good success here in Cincinnati at Great American Ballpark. 3-0 in 4 starts.
Hamilton shows bunt, brings Plouffe charging in from third base and takes a strike.
Well, this is a guy you want to keep off the bases. 36 stolen bases, the most in baseball.
And now Plouffe starts about 75 feet from home plate. Up high.
Hamilton stole 56 bases last year for the Reds in his 3rd season.
The Reds lead the major leagues in stolen bases, but that's a bit misleading because Hamilton has 36 of the 75. If you keep him off the bases, you've gone a long way toward shutting down the running game. This is a bunt.
Oh, that's trouble.
And Dozier has no chance. Did what he could, but Hamilton dragged the ball toward the second baseman, and it's a bunt single.
Yeah, once it got by the pitcher, Brian Dozier, and this grass very thick infield is going to slow down that baseball. So Hamilton taking it with him, got it past Pelfrey, and then Dozier, the best he could do is try to flip it over to Mauer, but the speed of Billy Hamilton on first base.
Of course, we were hoping to have this series be a showdown, if you will, between Billy Hamilton of the Reds, Byron Buxton of the Twins, but Buxton back home on the disabled list. And now Ivan DeJesus Jr.
Yeah, son of Ivan DeJesus, who played 15 years at the major league level.
That's almost always the case, though, isn't it? Where the junior is the son of Ivan DeJesus Sr. in this case. Almost always the case.
Could be, yeah. But he could have a different, middle name or something.
Yeah. DeJesus playing at second base. Brandon Phillips has hand issues, plural. He's got some pain in both hands. 1-1 to DeJesus Jr.
Yeah, we'll just call him Junior then, okay? Junior played with the Dodgers, the Red Sox in his first season with the Reds. Signed as a free agent over the winter.
That's looped behind first, and that drops for a hit. Hamilton around second, on his way to third, and a bunt single and a doink, and just like that, the Reds have first and third. Nobody out.
Exactly what I was going to call it, a little doink right down that right field line.
Something else in mind.
Yeah, I know.
Here's the Twins out in the field. Escobar in left, Rosario in center, Hunter in right, Plouffe and Santana left side of the infield, Dozier, Mauer the right side, Suzuki behind the plate. Joey Votto, the batter.
I wonder if he's a junior.
Or if he has a son.
Good.
Named Joey.
Well, this situation here is a pitcher you kind of already know, hey, I'm going to give up a run. So what Mike Pelfrey wants right here, maybe a ground ball. He's had 16 double plays turned behind him.
Votto has only hit into 6 ground ball double plays, but clearly the thinking is here, we'll give up a run, try to get 2 if we can, and it's ball 2. Reds have a nice 1-2 punch. Votto, former league MVP, and then Todd Frazier, who, if the Reds can get above 500 and become a factor, Todd Frazier is going to get a lot of MVP votes this year. There's a strike.
I know it's been 3 years, almost 4 years, since Mike Pelfrey faced Joey Votto and the Reds. His last appearance was here when he was with the Mets back on July 27th of 2011. Pelfrey threw a complete game, won 8-2, but Votto very good numbers against Pelfrey.
Strike over the inside corner, 2-2.
Joey Votto 5 hits in 14 at bats, and 3 of those 5 hits home runs.
Pelfrey is sad that he tinkered with a split finger pitch back in his Mets days, but it's become a weapon for him. He's in a situation here where he surely could use a strikeout. Hasn't thrown it yet to Votto, and he has him 2-2.
Mike Pelfrey, 31 years old, 6'7". 9 of his 14 previous starts are quality starts.
2-2. Whoa! Trying to get the inside corner with a fastball. Where on earth did that miss?
Well, Kurt Suzuki sitting inside.
Oh, he's inside. I beg your pardon. I trust Fox Tracks implicitly.
I'm glad you do.
3-2 to Votto. De Jesus goes, and the pitch fouled back. I believe we've seen Pelfrey throw the splitter once yet, have we?
Not yet, no. Trusting the fastball right now. Pelfrey making his 8th career start overall against the Reds. Going back to his days with the Mets. 4 wins, 2 losses, an ERA at 5.09.
Runner goes and ball 4. Now they're loaded up for Frazier. A rocky start here for Mike Pelfrey as the Reds have loaded the bases with no one out.
Well, maybe one of the best hitters in baseball right now as far as average wise. Extra base hits is this guy right here, Todd Frazier. Hitting .290, 25 home runs. He's driven in 53, 21 doubles and a triple.
Frazier on a pace to hit over 50 home runs this year, and since the beginning of last year, he was at Target Field for the All-Star game last year. 142 runs, a lot of runs batted in, and he's got a chance to add to that total here in the first inning. Plouffe even with the bag at third, and a big first inning at bat for Mike Pelfrey. To left, down for a hit, and it's 1-0. Still nobody out. Hit right off the end of the bat in front of Escobar.
A high fastball right there, and Frazier hitting it softly in front of Escobar, driving in his 54th run, and the bases remain loaded. Almost a 2-seamer. I think Mike wanted that ball down. It stayed up. And Hamilton scoring the first run.
And now Jay Bruce. Twins got that painfully short start from Trevor May in Milwaukee in the first game, and now Pelfrey's got to be careful the same thing doesn't happen here in Cincinnati. Open in, ball 1. May only retired 1 batter. Breaking ball down and in, 2-0. Nothing has been hit hard, but yet 3 singles and a walk. Pelfrey again will work behind in the count to a dangerous hitter.
Now Jay Bruce in his 8th season with the Reds, 2-time All-Star.
There's a strike.
Bruce, 28 years old, Reds #1 pick back in 2005. Got some pop in that bat.
Swing and a miss, and Pelfrey might need a few more of those in this inning to keep the damage to a minimum. Already 1 on the board. Pelfrey looking for his first out. I don't believe he's thrown that split finger pitch once yet. There might have been it right there.
That was it right there.
And Bruce laid off. And it's a full count. Tend to take it for granted, but a nice block by Suzuki.
Well, this is where you want the pitch, but it lands just on this side of home plate. You want it just on the other side. Hopefully Bruce would maybe beat it into the ground or swing through it.
A dicey situation in your very first inning. Count's full, bases are full. To left center field. Rosario with the catch and the throw to Plouffe. A sacrifice fly for Bruce, and it's 2-0. An out, and now Marlon Byrd will come up with 2 men aboard.
Well, you don't like being down 2-0, but really what that does right there still sets up the double play, and Frazier at second base, Votto at second base could not advance. So maybe a ground ball right here will get Pelfrey out of the inning.
Marlon Byrd has hit into 5 ground ball double plays. Breaking ball and a swing and a miss. 76 degrees here for the first pitch. Beautiful ballpark. Twins here for the first time in 4 years. That's hit to center, and Rosario drifting back. Number 2, and Rosario uncorks a throw to third, and Frazier thought about trying to advance to second.
Well, like I said, that fly ball to Rosario in left center kept Votto at second base. Now another fly ball only advances him to third. Now there's 2 outs.
And other than the bunt, everything's been hit in the air against a guy who usually has the ball hit on the ground. Here's Tucker Barnhart. The expected Reds catcher, Devin Mesoraco, had hip surgery today. One of the key injuries that the Reds have had to endure this year. Breaking ball hits the outside corner.
Barnhart in his second season with the Reds, a switch hitting catcher. Started the season in AAA and called up in middle of April. He's a left-handed hitter. He's hitting .317.
Fastball misses inside.
Pitch number 25 for Pelfrey here in the first inning.
2-1. When May had his rough first inning at Miller Park on Friday night, he just couldn't catch a break. He gave up a bunch of singles and doubles and stolen bases. Squeeze play, scored a run on the ground through the hole to left, and the Reds get a big 2-out hit. Barnhart makes it a 3-0 ball game. And I was about to say Pelfrey doing a better job perhaps in controlling what could be a really bad inning, and I couldn't even get that far before Barnhart gets an RBI single.
Votto scoring the third run of the inning, and Barnhart, to his credit, taking that pitch the other way, right between Plouffe and Santana in the left field.
Well, at least a ball hit on the ground, but now it's 3-0, and here's Eugenio Suarez. Twins saw Suarez last year when he was called up to patch a hole at short for the Tigers. Ball 1. Cracked foul, and it's 1-1.
Suarez traded over to the Reds over the winter for right-handed pitcher Alfredo Simon.
One and one. Popped up toward the tarp and then the seats, and it's out of play. Been a long and disappointing first inning for Mike Pelfrey, but he'd like to put an end to it right here. Been the splitter thrown for a strike on the outside corner. Suarez retired, but the Reds put up a 3 spot in the first. The Reds. Mike Leake was on the mound in the series finale.
Yeah, that back on June 24th of 2012. He pitched very well. He pitched 8 very good innings, only allowed a couple runs, only damaged with a home run by Trevor Plouffe. But and in the top of the 9th inning, it was Josh Willingham with the big 2-run home run that gave the Twins the 4-3 win.
Fewest interleague games for the Twins since 2002, just the 3 games played here in 2012. To put it another way, in the entire Ron Gardenhire managerial era, there was just 1 series between these 2 teams, and that was the series here that the Twins took 2-1. Speaking of Gardy, I want to congratulate him. It was announced late this afternoon he's going to be inducted into the National Baseball Congress Hall of Fame. So we congratulate Gardy for that.
Congratulations, Gardy, if you're watching.
His name's already been brought up as a managerial candidate in Philadelphia, where today Andy MacPhail was named the future president of the Phillies. Cracked foul off the bat of Plouffe. 1-1. It'll be Plouffe, Rosario, and Suzuki in the Twins' second.
Again, as I mentioned, Trevor Plouffe hit a home run off of Leake a couple, 2012, but Leake basically a sinker slider type pitcher.
Another chopper foul, 1-2.
When he's on, a lot like Mike Pelfrey, they get a lot of ground ball outs. 2 of the 3 outs already hit on the ground by the Twins. And Leake's been pitching well over his last 5 starts, 3-0 with a 2.45 earned run average.
And down the line, Plouffe got a hanging breaking ball, and he whacks it to the corner for an extra base hit. Twins get their first hit, a leadoff double in the second by Trevor Plouffe.
Yeah, that breaking ball stayed up, and Trevor with his 18th double hitting it into the corner. This is a run the Twins would like to get across the plate right here. You're down 3-0. It's only the second inning. You see the curveball right there. Hammered into the corner. Bird has to chase it as it comes ricochets off the wall.
And now Rosario. Lined into right, a base hit. Plouffe will gain third base. Rosario jumps on the first pitch. Well, the Twins trying to build an inning in the second.
What I like about that at bat right there, it looked like Rosario was looking to pull no matter what to get Plouffe over, and he was rewarded with a base hit. Leake tried to go in on Rosario, and he opened up quickly. See where Barnhart's sitting. And that's a nice swing right there by Rosario, doing his job, and gets rewarded with that single.
And now Suzuki. Now it's Cincinnati's turn to hope for a ground ball double play, something Pelfrey never got.
And hopefully Leake won't get it. He has had 9 double plays turned behind him.
Suzuki takes inside a ball. As you look at the Twins lineup and the batting averages and the run production, you can't help but think toward the second half, when the hope is certainly that these guys will have a better second half offensively than first half, Suzuki included. And Leake will throw wildly. Nice play by DeJesus to make the catch and complete the double play.
Well, Leake right away, he'll give up the run for the 2 outs with that 3-run lead. Ball hit right back to him, and kind of an off-balance throw to DeJesus, but he makes a nice grab right here. Leake didn't even pick up Plouffe. Spun and threw it to DeJesus, who was right there at the bag. You like a little crow hop when you throw it a second, but a nice play by the second baseman.
Base is empty, a run on the board, and now Escobar. Ball 1. Twins must have looked at Leake's delivery, his pitching pattern, and decided, well, let's try to get him early, because just about everybody has swung at the first or second pitch. It was just an 8-pitch first inning. And he's only thrown 9, pitching to his 4th batter in his second inning. 2-1 to Escobar, getting another start in left field. Three and 1. Pelfrey batting 8th in the on deck circle. And a walk. Mike comes to the plate with a chance to change the scoreboard.
Well, he's already 2 for 2 on the season. Couple singles for Pelfrey.
Pelfrey hitting 8th with one exception. Paul Molitor has batted the pitcher's 8th. That was the other day when Trevor May was put 9th, and May never did come to the plate.
Yeah, Pelfrey, a lot of at-bats, of course, in the National League with the Mets from 2006 to 2012. 267 major league at-bats.
5 doubles. And backhanded by Barnhart. I asked Paul Molitor the other day, I said, if you were a pitcher and were asked to hit, what would your approach be? Just to grip it and rip it and swing as hard as you could in case you hit it? And he said, well, if you're somebody big like Mike Pelfrey, sure. He takes a strike, 1 and 2. Paul thought he would adopt what the Cardinals try to instruct on their pitchers, or with their pitchers when they go up to the plate. They try to do different things because they have the opportunity to practice situations and the chop swing and some other things.
Square around the bunt, swing away.
What they want their pitchers to do is at least face 5 pitches in every at bat. and Pelfrey faces just 4. The Twins get a run, they leave a runner, and it's 3-1.
He has said that split finger pitch he uses has helped him revitalize his career because it's so tough on hitters. It's also pretty tough on his catcher, and I asked Kurt Suzuki to describe what that splitter looks like from his perspective.
You know, he really does different things every time. He doesn't do the same thing every time. It kind of, sometimes it knuckles in there, sometimes it goes straight down, sometimes it goes like a slider, sometimes it stays straight. I mean, you can never anticipate what it's going to do, so that's what probably makes him so tough to hit.
And tough to catch as well, which is why Kurt says he gets a little bit of anxiety before he throws that split finger pitch every time, but he also understands it's so important for Pelfrey and a lot of fun to catch.
Yeah, thank you, Jamie. You know, Eddie Guardado helped him with that grip to open it up a little bit wider when he, and you'll watch Pelfrey right there, he'll open it up and set it in almost using his hip to kind of jam that ball in. And then change it if he doesn't want to throw it in the windup. That might have been it right there at 84 miles an hour.
2-1 to the pitcher, Mike Leake. Leake 5 hits, 37 at bats. He's hit a home run, driven in a couple of runs. Chopper to third, fielded by Plouffe, firing on the run on one hop to Mauer.
Nice play by Trevor Plouffe. Let's take a look at the old grip of Mike Pelfrey and the new grip. The one on the left, of course, the old grip, and then a little bit wider and utilizing the seams of the ball underneath there, and then on the other side, you'll see it on that side right there. But just you know, and I think it's almost like a knuckleball at times. Depends on if Mike gets on top of that ball or throws it from the side. Sometimes it'll sink, sometimes it'll float away to a right-handed hitter.
Hamilton bunted for a base hit, and that started the 3-run first inning. Pelfrey hasn't thrown many pitches from the full windup, just 2 in the first inning, and he delivers strike 1 to Hamilton.
You know, that's a nice play by Trevor Plouffe. You can see Trevor Plouffe in on the grass. He's taking a bunt away.
Trying to anyway.
And what that does, it also brings Brian Dozier in at second base. He's not playing a deep second base. He's got to come in. Now with 2 strikes, he can move back a little bit, but Trevor's still on the grass.
And outside, Hamilton's average, not much. He's only drawn 15 walks, an on-base percentage of .264, which is why many times he will hit 9th for the Reds. But with Brandon Phillips out, Brian Price putting Hamilton in the leadoff spot. Flip foul over the Twins dugout.
You know, he's one of these guys, if he hits a fly ball, that's not good. He wants to beat it into the ground and utilize that speed. Hamilton, only 24 years old, signed by the Reds in 2009 out of Taylorsville, Mississippi.
1-2. And now 2-2. '40th pitch of the ball game for Pelfrey. He's only gotten 4 outs. And now popped up, back and out of play. Tomorrow, the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup semifinals begin as Alex Morgan and Team USA take on Germany with a trip to the final on the line. Coverage begins tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central, only on your local Fox station and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Go USA.
Now, you would say that if they were playing the Netherlands, right?
Well, I'd have to maybe go both teams.
3-2. I am of German heritage, but I want the U.S. team to win because I'm an American.
You are an American.
3-2. And Hamilton draws a rare walk.
Boy, you want him to try to earn his way on. Now a free pass. Second walk for Pelfrey in the ballgame already. And he came in very good control. Had walked only 25 batters in 86 innings pitched.
Now DeJesus, who chipped a little fly ball down the right field line right after the Hamilton bunt. The bunt single, you tip your cap to the hitter who made a nice bunt and have to deal the best you can with the situation. But now you put Hamilton on and he goes on the first pitch and everybody has to try to quicken things up and Suzuki can't grip the baseball.
Yeah, it was a fastball away and Kurt never got a grip on it, but Hamilton with his speed steals second base, his 37th stolen base of the year. As soon as Mike Pelfrey made a move, he was off.
Now Hamilton at second, one away. DeJesus with a 1-0 count. And he goes to third. Suzuki's throw in time to get him. Save. Poop dropped the ball.
Well, I think Hamilton may have kicked the ball out of Trevor's glove.
Remember Trevor
broke his hand. Yeah.
Remember Trevor broke his wrist on a tag play at third last year.
There goes Hamilton. Good throw by Suzuki. Quick tag.
No, he never had it in the glove. Yeah. I don't know that Trevor actually had it in the inside of the glove.
Take a look right here. Yeah, he had it in, and then Hamilton's right foot just kind of kicked the ball out. So he's got it right there.
Yeah.
Then the tag, and then Hamilton, his right foot jarring the ball loose.
Infield in now. Stolen bases on back-to-back pitches. 1-1 to DeJesus. High chopper over the head of the drawn-in shortstop. 4-1. DeJesus with his second hit. Came into the game hitting just .213.
Well, he beat that ball right in front of home plate. It's pretty hard right there where Suzuki is. And that ball hit high over the head of Santana. And Hamilton scores for the second time, and they get that run back the Twins got in the top of the inning.
A walk, 2 quick stolen bases, a chopper over a drawn-in infielder, and now Votto, who walked and scored in the first. Strike one over the inside corner.
Joey Votto, 31 years old, a 4-time All-Star for the Reds. Gold Glove winner.
DeJesus does not have a stolen base. Been thrown out twice.
Votto, National League MVP back in 2010.
It drifts outside, 1-1.
That year, 2010, was a great year for Votto. He hit .324, hit 37 home runs, and drove in 113 for the Reds.
Two and one.
This is really unlike Mike Pelfrey. He's kind of all over the place. 48 pitches to only 27 strikes. Suzuki out to talk to. Quick trip to the mound by the catcher, Kurt Suzuki.
Pelfrey's a guy who always seems to struggle more when men are on base. That's always been the case, at least for as long as he's pitched for the Twins. And the problem he's had here tonight so far, he's only thrown a handful of pitches from the windup, most of them to Mike Leake, the pitcher. 2-1 to Votto. And a strike.
Now Trevor Plouffe will be moving from third, going up the middle. Twins put on a shift here.
And now 3-2.
You can see the frustration of Pelfrey. Just doesn't have a feel for that splitter here yet.
It is a feel pitch, and I know you've talked about coming out of the bullpen, warming up for a game, and if you don't have something that you want to have, you try to put yourself in position to work on a pitch so you can get a feel for it.
Have it later, right?
Runner goes, and it's ball four. Second walk of the inning. Third straight batter's reach now after Pelfrey retired the pitcher Mike Leake. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Carlos Stanton, who will not be at the All-Star game or in the Home Run Derby, leading the major leagues in home runs, and Todd Frazier, who's just keeps getting better every year. He was an All-Star last year, and he's putting up, this is a charter member of the National League here, he's putting up franchise historic numbers potentially in terms of home runs and doubles and runs batted in. Fouled away, one strike. And he's gaining in the All-Star voting.
And he should.
Matt Carpenter still leading at third base, and it's kind of hard to argue against Carpenter. He's having a great year too, but the margin now a little over 62,000 votes. One strike to Frazier. Deep down the right field line, but a foul ball. When we were here last in 2000, what did we say, 11? 12. Scott Rowland was still at third base for the Reds. And we showed you the highlight of Willingham hitting the big home run. I'll remember the 3 at bats in that game. Rowland's great at bat in the 8th inning. Mauer with a great at bat, getting a double in front of the Willingham home run. But Frazier was on that team and ready to take over, and that's pretty much what happened at third base. Outside, 1-2.
Well, that's what you expect from your #1 draft picks, and that's what Frazier was in 2007. Played his college ball out of Rutgers.
Even the foul balls are in the air. There just hasn't been much hit on the ground at all from a guy who lives with balls hit on the ground. Jesus with his base hit here in the second. That was a chopper hit directly into the ground. One and two. On the ground, Santana to Dozier. Dozier to Morrow, and then Mauer, and that cleans up the second inning. The one-out walk to Hamilton costs Pelfrey and the Twins another run. Our Sanford Health injury report. Ricky Nolasco is going to get yet another opinion on his right ankle from a specialist in Charlotte. Aaron Hicks is playing for Rochester. Hopes to get back sooner rather than later. The Twins will make that move when they deem it appropriate. Byron Buxton going to be out for another 4 to 6 weeks. Danny Santana hits ninth and he takes ball one. Here's a time where the pitcher batting eighth pays off for the Twins. They had a runner at first and 2 away. And the chances of the eighth place hitter, if it were Santana, driving in a run before Pelfrey were to hit, that chances weren't very good. So now Santana, who was a leadoff hitter earlier this year, will get a chance to essentially be a leadoff hitter here in the third.
Yeah, I was in the National League for 3 years, and what you learn as a pitcher is that when you're in trouble sometimes, that eighth hitter with that pitcher coming up in that number 9 spot, you sometimes have to work around that eighth hitter because of the pitcher. Now hopefully Santana can get on, utilize his speed.
Took 3 balls, now takes two strikes. Santana picked up a walk in Milwaukee, but it was just his 3rd of the year. And he swung a ball 4. Santana strikes out, 1 away. An invitation to vote for Brian Dozier on your 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot now at twinsbaseball.com. Voting is exclusively online, available on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. You can vote for up to 35 times at twinsbaseball.com. Vote Dozier for this year's All-Star Game. Balloting released today, and now there are only 5 Kansas City Royals leading at their positions, including the glaring situation of Omar Infante
at second base.
Although Jose Altuve is closing in, Jason Kipnis isn't nearly as close as he should be. Alcides Escobar is leading at short. Salvador Perez is leading behind the plate.
Which Perez,
absolutely,
yeah,
best catcher in the league.
Right, I agree.
And then Lorenzo Cain and Alex Gordon leading in 2 of the outfield spots, the expense of Jose Bautista and Eric Davis. Not Eric Davis. Adam Jones, excuse me. In Cincinnati, I thought of Eric Davis. 3-1 to Dozier. Dozier wasn't happy about strike 2 called in his first inning at bat. That pitch he thought was outside. After grounding out in the first, he did have a little exchange with Bob Davidson on his way back to the Twins dugout. And Dozier's called out on strikes.
3 straight strikeouts for Mike Leake.
Here's the American League All-Star voting leaders at the positions. Of course, they just go 3 outfielders, not center, left, and right. But Cabrera in at first. Donaldson has overtaken Moustakas at third. Perez, and you see the rest of them there. Here's Mauer lined out to center field his first time up. Chopped foul. 1 strike. Be the first time in a long time Joe won't be busy during the All-Star break. Even last year when he wasn't on the team, he was an official ambassador. And you can't walk a half a block here in Cincinnati without being told that the All-Star game is coming here. Well, I thought the Twin Cities did a great job branding the All-Star game pretty much everywhere, but they've taken it to another level here in Cincinnati. Swing and a miss. Mauer strikes out. 4 straight strikeouts for Mike Leake, and he's got a 4-1 lead, and he's frustrated the Twins so far here tonight.
just about 2 weeks. We mentioned that there are now only 5 Royals players leading the way for vote getters, but this isn't the first time that there's been controversy surrounding voting and the All-Star Game. In fact, way back in 1957, the Reds were involved in a similar controversy with 7 of the 8 position players representing Cincinnati. Everybody except Stan Musial. But then the newspapers ran pre-printed ballots voting for Reds players. So fans, all they had to do was cut them out and just mail them in. The commissioner at the time, Ford Frick, stepped in that year. He actually replaced Gus Bell and Wally Post with a couple guys named Willie Mays and Hank Aaron. That was the end of fan voting, guys, for the All-Star Game until 1969. But it has happened before.
Yeah, that's what that All-Star Game in Cincinnati will always be remembered for. The one here in 1970 will be remembered for the Pete Rose-Ray Fosse collision. And the one that was played here in 1988 has to be remembered because of the MVP, Terry Steinbach, hit a home run. There's a ball last to the right field corner. It's a soft bounce, and Hunter will throw to second, and Bruce is in with a leadoff double.
Well, Mike Pelfrey getting beat around here this evening against the Reds. That he had always pitched pretty well here against the Reds. Ball down and in, and Bruce almost golfing that ball, gets a double, his 12th double of the year, and the 6th hit for the Reds, along with 3 walks by Pelfrey.
And now Marlon Byrd to short center.
It's a blooper.
And Bruce to third base. So a well hit ball and another softly hit ball, but bottom line, more trouble for Mike Pelfrey.
Yeah, everything's been up for Pelfrey. When he's tried to get down, it's too low. So he's just fighting it out there tonight. That ball came running in on Byrd, and he softly hit it over Santana's head. Runners at the corners, nobody out.
Tucker Barnhart slashed a single to left. Maybe the hardest hit ball of the first inning when the Reds scored 3 times. It's playing the infield back up the middle for a double play. They apparently will concede another run here. And there's a strike. Playing the infield about halfway in, I guess. Mauer, of course, holding Byrd, and Plouffe well off the line, but even with the bag down the other way. 1 strike. And a ball. Even when Pelfrey's gotten ahead, strike 1, it seems like the second pitch evens the count instead of getting ahead 0-1, 0-2 like we've seen him do so many times. Low, and it's 2-1.
That's what I'm saying. He's trying to get that ball down, but it's just been too low. Then he leaves a pitch up, and he's been getting hurt.
He thought that one was at the knees, but he didn't get the call. 2-1. 3-1. 3 walks already for Pelfrey in the first 15 plate appearances.
He's given up 4 runs already, and it's only the 4th time in 15 starts he's given up 4 runs or more.
Fouled away, and it's 3-2.
He's just been so steady. It's already the 5th 3-ball count.
When he asked Paul Molitor who other than Glenn Perkins and Brian Dozier would he, Molitor, consider to be candidate to make the All-Star team, and part of the answer involved the twin starters that have been a big part of the team's success this year. Base hit left field, and it's another run with Bruce coming in from third.
And Barnhart again taking that pitch the other way, as he did in the first inning, to pick up an RBI. And he picks up his 2nd RBI. So Barnhart again, almost the same pitch, almost did the same thing. This time it was in the air to left field, the other one on a ground ball.
And here comes Neil Allen out to the mound with Suarez, the batter. But Paul said, you know, if you want to think that the Twins starting rotation should be represented. There's nobody that jumps off the charts in terms of wins or anything like that, but this has been one of the better rotations in the league, and the only name individually mentioned was Mike Pelfrey. Came into the game with an ERA of just over 3, but it's already jumped up almost a half a run today.
And Neil Allen going out there, and everybody listening to Neil Allen.
Trevor's trying to screen the camera from any lip readers that might be to left center field on the first pitch. That was not a good trip to the mound.
No, that didn't work.
All the way to the wall, and 2 runs are going to score. Suarez with the 4th straight hit here in the 3rd inning. Bird and Barnhart score, and the Reds have opened it up here already in the 3rd.
Well, another pitch left up, and Suarez with his 3rd double, driving in a couple of runs. Now 8 runs batted in on the year.
9 hits allowed in 17 plate appearances. Then you mix in the 3 walks. There's been a sacrifice fly.
And here comes Paul Molitor.
And that's going to be the end of the night for Mike Pelfrey.
Well, his shortest outing of the year. He had that ugly outing in Texas where he went 3 2/3 innings.
Alex Meyer's been warming up, and it looks like the 6'7" right-handed pitcher is going to give way to the 6'9" right-handed pitcher. Very disappointing outing for Mike Pelfrey, with the Reds jumping out in front early here in Cincinnati. Knocked out in the 1st inning on Friday, and now the Reds have knocked out Mike Pelfrey in the 3rd inning tonight.
Yeah, a lot of hits. You know, just not a good night for Mike Pelfrey.
And Alex Meyer, who had a tough time in his major league debut, he was brought into the game in the 1st inning after having just joined the club and put on the roster earlier that day. Didn't go Mike's or Alex's way, and we'll see if he has a better time of it here in his 2nd outing.
Yeah, coming last Friday against the Brewers, 1 2/3 innings, 4 runs all earned, a walk and a couple strikeouts. He gave up 2 home runs.
Mike Leake, the pitcher, squaring to bunt, and Meyer misses down and away. Ball 1. Leake hit a ground ball to Plouffe his first time up, leading off the 2nd inning. There's a bunt, and Meyer will make the play to first base. And Suarez goes to third.
And that's what you do as a pitcher, no matter what the score is. Try to advance the runner. And Leake will get his third sacrifice bunt of the year, advancing Suarez to third.
Mike Pelfrey only retired 5 batters. And one of those outs was a sacrifice fly that scored a run. Here's Billy Hamilton with a runner at third. And the Twins already down by 6. Have to bring the infield in. Hamilton, a bunt single and a run scored in the first. And then maybe the final nail in the coffin, even though it came in the second inning for Pelfrey, the walk to Hamilton.
Right.
Because 2 pitches later he was standing at third and scored on a base hit by DeJesus, a chopper over the drawn in infield. Now Meyer misses again 2-0. Meyer needs to throw more strikes, needs to command the strike zone.
Well, this is kind of the role that the Twins put him in after he was taken out of that starting rotation down in Rochester.
3-0.
And this is what we saw really in Milwaukee. Suzuki, who caught him all over the place.
He dominated in a relief role in AAA, and the Twins imagined him being able to, and he still might be able to, but imagined him stepping up to this level and doing the same thing. But he's just walked Hamilton on 4 pitches. This is an on-base percentage challenged player, and the Twins have seen him reach base 3 times in 3 innings. Join us for the Lynx Night Out ticket offer, welcomed by Fox Sports North. For just $30, fans receive a ticket to the game, craft beer sampling, and a commemorative Lynx beer stein. The offer is valid for games on July 3rd, 17th, and September 4th. For details, visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events for details. And Hamilton has a huge lead at first base. And Meyer, among the many things he needs to prove he can do to have success up here, is hold runners. And this is the supreme test.
Well, you almost have to sling it over there rather than that long arm that he has. You see, he kind of winds up to throw over there, and the speedy Hamilton gets back easily.
But again, if he's going to have success up here with a big frame, he needs to hold runners and deliver the ball quickly to the plate through a slide step or whatever. Big leg kick. Hamilton goes. Suzuki has no chance.
Hamilton, who came into the game with 36 stolen bases, steals his third.
He had a game earlier this year where he stole 5.
He's on his way, isn't he?
Infield in now. DeJesus with a 1-0 count, and there's a strike.
What we saw from Meyer on Friday night is an overpowering fastball, but the lack of control of that, and then the inconsistency of a very hard slider. There's a slider right there that Suzuki wanted down and away, and ends up down and in. He threw a really nasty one to Gomez, if you remember that sequence, and then he hung the next one, and Gomez hit that little flare into right field.
2-1. A chopper foul. You'd like to think that the velocity is such that he could get a strikeout when he needs to, like in a situation like this. We did not see that in Milwaukee. Saw a fastball that at least that night was pretty straight, and they got hammered for a couple of home runs. There's a slider missing, and it's 3-2. First base is open, but Votto's in the on deck circle. Only 1 out in the inning. And Suzuki back on the grass. He couldn't find it. And Myers walked his second straight batter. And they're loaded up. The only out recorded this inning, a sacrifice bunt by the pitcher.
Suzuki's going to follow him out there.
Meyer grew up a big Reds fan about an hour from here, and so in addition to everything else he's experiencing, this is a ballpark that he used to come to frequently as a fan.
Signed by the Nationals, played his college ball out of the University of Kentucky, just across the river here. Kentucky, that is.
Votto's walked twice. Myers thrown 14 pitches, just 3 strikes. 13 pitches, just 3 strikes. I beg your pardon. 1-0. And a strike at the knees. Pelfrey got a ground ball double play to get the Twins off the field in the second with just 1 run allowed. Fouled away, 1-2. Meyer did strike out a couple of Brewers in his inning and 2/3.
Meyer, 25 years old. Down in Rochester, made 8 starts, made 9 relief appearances, had 61 strikeouts in 56 1/3 innings.
1-2 to Joey Votto. Breaking ball wraps around the plate. 2-2.
And that's where we have seen him miss with that breaking ball away to a left-handed hitter into a right-hander. That's kind of the breaking ball you want to throw underneath that swing of Joey Votto if you can get it there. Like that, but Votto stayed laid off of it.
Now a full count with the bases loaded.
That's a good tight breaking ball right here. You can see Suzuki really having a tough time catching him.
Driven to left. Escobar back, and it's over his head off the wall. DeJesus trotted into second base. Votto is right on his heels. He'll be held to a long single.
I don't know what DeJesus was doing. He should have been standing at second, and then he could always scoop back. So it's a 2-run single for Joey Votto, taking this low pitch the other way. Escobar goes back. It's over his head. Suarez and Hamilton score. Hamilton scores for the 3rd time in a game.
Reds have already had a 3-run inning, a 1-run inning, and now a 5-run inning. There's still only 1 out, and Frazier's the 9th man to bat. Popped up. And out of play. 1 strike.
Here we are in the 3rd inning, and every starter other than the pitcher has a hit already. 10 hits for the Reds.
Eight earned runs charged to Mike Pelfrey in 2 innings. Off the end of the bat foul, and Meyer will get to work ahead of the dangerous Frazier. 0-2.
Well, for Pelfrey, that's almost like the outing he had against the Rangers, where he worked 3 2/3 innings and gave up 8 earned runs. Those hurt.
And it really hurts coming on the heels of Trevor May's poor outing against the Brewers when he lasted just a third of an inning. Off the end of the bat again. Twins are in a stretch here where they don't have any off days now until the All-Star break. And you can endure a short start here or there, but now that's 2 very short starts out of the 4 games during this stretch of 17 games in 17 days. And Meyer at 98 miles per hour singes the corner. And Frazier didn't like the call.
Frazier doesn't like the call, but he is the second out of the inning. Having some words with Bob Davidson, the veteran umpire, 27 years behind the plate. A good pitch.
There's a strike zone.
Yep.
It must have been right there.
Right down the middle. Look at that.
2 down, and now Jay Bruce, who started the inning with a double off the fence in right. And Suzuki, like a hockey goalie, behind home plate.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching Kirk set up for a pitch. He's not moving left or right. He's right down the heart of the plate, and you kind of see the nervousness of him when he's trying to catch it. He's sitting right down the heart of the plate.
And a strike called.
And once in a while it hits his glove.
Breaking ball off the plate. The biggest issue for Meyer in the minor leagues, he has had some, well, it's easy for me to say because it's not my shoulder, but relatively minor health issues. But the biggest issue once he's been on the mound has been command.
Even in the minor leagues, I gave you the numbers as far as strikeouts to innings pitched. 61 strikeouts to 56 and a third innings, but also 30 walks.
Two and two. Meyer trying to get the Twins off the field here in the third, facing Bruce. The Twins are for the second time this inning. Fouled away.
Twins are trying to catch the Kansas City Royals, and you cannot have games like this, and sometimes you can't. How far do you go with a Alex Meyer when he has struggled now twice? You're going to have a bad start from a starter here or there. But Meyer's throwing a lot of pitches, 28 pitches, only 14 strikes.
Two and two to Bruce. And another breaking ball that won't break over the outside corner to a left-handed batter. For the Twins, in relation to the 500 mark, it's just kind of been a slow leak. They've not played well. Tigers are below 500 for the month of June. Indians have a lot of issues, so too the White Sox. Lifted to center, should be playable for Rosario. A pitching change for the Twins, 5 more runs for the Reds, and Torrey Hunter will lead things off when we get to the 4th.
for the Twins, but Torrey Hunter has been a T-Mobile game changer as he steps up to the plate here in the fourth. Check out his numbers over the last 9 games, and those 3 home runs just in the last 2 games. Tonight is actually the first time Torrey has been to Great American Ballpark, and that's saying something since he's been around for 19 seasons. He told me today it was a little strange to go out there for some early work in the outfield and have to learn how a new field plays because it's been a while since he's played in unfamiliar territory. He also said he's excited to hit in this park since it is pretty hitter friendly. And Dick and Bert, there's just one other major league park where Hunter has never played. Can you guess?
Washington.
Close. Same division, Turner Field in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Well, Hunter will get another extra base hit as he scalds a drive to left center field. So he hasn't played it. He better hurry up because they're going to replace that ballpark.
Yes, they are. Well, Torrey picking up a double. He continues to swing a good bat. His 14th double of the year. Twins get their 3rd hit.
Plouffe doubled into the left field corner, leading off the second, scored the lone run for the Twins. Hunter at second. Twins got a leadoff double and followed it up with a single in the second. We'll see what Plouffe can do here, taking ball 1. You have any memories of pitching here when you were with the Pirates?
Well, not in this stadium, but Riverfront, yes, because you know, we played the Pirates in '79 to get to the World Series. We had to beat them, and we beat them in 3 straight. I pitched game 3. We beat the first 2 games were in Cincinnati, then we won the 3rd game in Pittsburgh.
You were on the mound for that, as I recall,
yep.
right?
9 innings. Yep, beat them 7-1. The only damage was a home run. I gave up to
no.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Really?
To Johnny Bench.
What are the odds? 1-1 to Trevor Plouffe. That's to left center field and down for a hit. Hunter will round 3rd and score, and the Twins make it a 9-2 ball game.
Yeah, good job by Bird out on left field. That ball scoots by him. Trevor Plouffe's got another double, maybe more. But he does drive in a run with his 2nd hit, his 41st RBI of the year.
We'll bring up Rosario, who hit the first pitch he saw in the 2nd inning for a single.
Trevor getting that pitch middle in and lining it into the gap, and Bird reaching out and stopping that ball to keep Plouffe at first base.
Rosario getting his batting average back over 270.
He jumped on that first pitch. That was inside and lined it into right field.
Fouled back, 1 strike. A couple of outstanding rookies in the National League. Chris Bryant of the Cubs, Jock Peterson of the Dodgers. It's going to be an interesting Rookie of the Year race. Chop foul. There's not a clear favorite in the American League anymore. There are some rookies that are off to good starts. Devin Travis has been hurt. He's back with the Blue Jays now. I think if I remember right, you said that a pitcher should not win the Rookie of the Year award.
No, I was thinking more of the MVP award.
MVP, because there's a Cy Young award for each league. Gotcha.
Well, there's only one award for the rookie, not a, they have a Rookie Pitcher of the Year, but.
And that cost Rosario a bat. You won that award, right, in 1970, the Rookie Pitcher of the Award of the Year.
A guy named Thurman Munson won the Rookie of the Year, 1970. Hey, Rosario, continues to swing the bat good. He's right in that running, maybe.
I mean, he's going to be an everyday player here. He's been that already, and there's the Twins hope to get Aaron Hicks back, Byron Buxton back, and then one of those guys at least will be in center field. But Rosario's bat's going to be in the lineup. And it's fun to imagine what his numbers might be like at the end of the 2015 season. .39 hits in now 42 ball games.
And for Mike Leake, this will be pitch number 50 coming into home plate. 33 strikes. Has 4 strikeouts, 1 walk.
And off the glove of Suarez, and it'll be another base hit for Rosario. On an 0-2 pitch, he drilled it to center. And the Twins start the 4th inning with 3 straight hits.
You know, we've talked about the wrist action that Rosario has off that bat, and even though this pitch looks like it's away, watch how quick he just kind of like, you know, quickly hit that ball sharply. And Suarez dove for it, and the ball's already by him. Saw the strength of his hands with that little quick swing.
Yeah, the shortness of the swing. I mean, because he was fooled, you know, he had to go out and get the bat on it, but the finish of his swing was very short. Here's Suzuki. Twins were behind 3-0. They had a threat going. 1st and 3rd, and nobody out. And Suzuki hit a 1-hopper back to the mound. And Leake started a double play, but the double play was made by Ivan De Jesus Jr., who had to reach to his left to catch a low throw and then find the bag with his right foot.
Yeah, Mike Leake making his 8th start here in Cincinnati, and he's got an ERA at 5.11 in this ballpark. He's pitched actually better on the road than he has here. He's been given that lead, but Twins trying to get a little bit closer here.
Strike called, and it's 0-2.
He's given up 3 straight hits here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, in terms of interleague production in a National League park, the Twins are breaking out here tonight. A couple of early runs, 5 hits. But very short on the scoreboard. Popped up over the Reds dugout. Now the Twins are getting close to the pitcher's spot, barring a double play. Meyer's spot will come up in the 4th, so now they're warming up J.R. Graham in the bullpen.
Right, that's why you're hoping that Alex Meyer would come in and at least throw strikes and maybe, you know, get 3 or 4 innings out of him.
If the Twins keep getting hits, you've got to take advantage of men in scoring position or on the bases, if it comes to that in a few spots. And that ball rolls away, and now Plouffe to third base will advance.
Good heads up base running. No matter what the scoreboard says, you keep playing the game. And that ball getting away from Barnhart, rolling to his right, and Trevor Plouffe alertly scoots over to third. So very good base running by Trevor Plouffe. A wild pitch will be charged to Mike Leake, his 3rd wild pitch of the year.
And 2 to Suzuki. And Suzuki strikes out. Eddie Rosario with 2 hits tonight, and Tom Bernansky told Roy Smalley what he's been impressed about with Eddie Rosario.
That's the gift. I mean, most of us would have to be in our strong core and be able to go ahead and let the hands and the barrel work together. Those that are blessed with the ability to be able to do that can get out of position, but yet still take the hands to the barrel and to the ball and get results, get good results. And it's a frustrating thing for pitchers when they make good pitches and they see guys get out of body position, yet they're still able to hit a line drive.
That's exactly what Rosario did against Leake right there. You know, here I'm sure Leake's looking for this pitch to be a ground ball. That's a double play type pitch right there, but Rosario strong enough with those hands, as Bruno was talking about, Tom Bernansky, about lining that ball a little bit harder than most guys would hit it.
There's a ball driven to right center field toward the gap, chased by Bruce, and he won't get there, and Hamilton falls down. 1 run will score. It'll be a double. for Escobar, and for whatever reason, Billy Hamilton's having a hard time staying on his feet out in center field.
Yeah, I didn't know if he thought Bruce was going to catch that ball and tried to just stop his momentum, but the ball hit right between Hamilton and Bruce. It's a high fly ball right here, and you're hoping nobody catches it. If you're a Twins fan, you see the uppercut swing, but Hamilton and his speed kind of gives way to Bruce right there as he made a quick left turn and fell.
Well, second and third, and the pitcher spot comes up. Meyer giving way to Kenny Vargas here, first pinch hitter for the Twins. This is a big spot here for the Twins. It's just the fourth inning. They've added a couple. If the Twins can maybe pick up these two guys that are in scoring position, chance for the Twins to jump back in this game, even though it's still a comfortable Cincinnati lead.
Yeah, the pitching coach Jeff Pico goes out to talk to his right-hander. Well, good at bat by Escobar right there, driving in his 28th run on his 11th double.
Twins will face Johnny Cueto on Wednesday, and they're facing Leake tonight. Both pitchers are free agents after this year. And you hear so much about Cueto possibly being traded before the trading deadline. I would imagine Leake would be on a list of potential trade candidates for the Reds as well, but he's not handling a pretty enviable situation here very well. One strike to Vargas. Twins got their third pinch hit of the year yesterday in 29 at bats. Came off the bat of Shane Robinson. I'd like to get one here from Vargas. Fouled back, and it's 0-2. Start with, the Twins have just a four-man bench, so they're using one move here in the fourth inning with two men in scoring position. Reds are conceding another run. Vargas needs to avoid a strikeout. Got a pretty good chance of driving in at least one. Snap bat, and Frazier with the catch, 2 down.
Well, Leake stayed inside on Vargas and jammed him for the second out.
Well, the Reds had a disappointing year. Injury is a big part of it. Frazier won't be traded. He's the new face of the franchise.
Well, they say here in Cincinnati, you know, what direction do they want to go? They, you know, if the Cardinals are there, the Pirates, the Cubs are ahead of them in a division. Or are they going to start rebuilding?
That's the problem with being 6 games below 500 in a division where somebody else in the division's 27 games over 500. Yeah. You're out of it. You're not going to win the division.
How about those Cardinals? My goodness, what, 51 wins already.
7.5 games behind the second place Pirates, who are the wild card leader, if you want to trouble yourself with such thoughts in late June. And now a big at bat for Santana. If the Twins have any realistic hope of getting back into this game, they need to get a big 2-out hit here from Santana.
There's 2 ducks on the pond out there. Hopefully Santana can pick them up.
Outside, Twins were hoping that Vargas would pick up the ducks on the pond by hitting one into the Licking River that's separating us from Kentucky across the way over there. 1-1. Instead, Vargas hit a little pop-up to Frazier. There's a drive and a base hit. Rosario scores. Escobar will be held, and the throw to the plate, and Santana advances to second. A hard feet first slide, and he comes up okay.
Yeah, not a good throw by Bruce right there. You want to cut that, at least hit Votto in the, you know, in the infield. So he airmailed that throw all the way home, and that allows Santana to get in the scoring position. So Danny Santana hitting that ball sharply in the right field. Rosario scores. Escobar held up, and the high throw allows Santana to slide safely into second. So another man in scoring position for Brian Dozier.
Dozier with a ground ball to third, and he was called out on strikes in the third. Strike on the outside corner. Showed you Dozier's reaction after taking a called third strike in the third inning.
Well, Brian's such a pull hitter, and now, you know what, the book's out on Brian too. They're going to pitch him hard away until he starts hitting that ball toward right field. Now they're going inside there, but that pitch down and away. Barnhart sat way in. So Leake not hitting his spot, but gets ahead of Dozier 0-2.
"37 runs batted in for Dozier. 57 runs scored. Oh and 2. A drive to left field. Back is Bird. Gone! A 3-run home run on an 0-2 pitch.
Home run number 16 on the year for Brian Dozier. And 6 runs put on the board here in the 4th inning.
Game on. It's 9-7.
A high fastball.
Ooh.
And Brian, where he likes it with that uppercut swing. I can't wait to see the home run hitting contest here in Cincinnati.
Here's Mauer in a 2-run game. Strike 1. Well, you talked about Meyer's location being way off. Did you see where Barnhart wanted that pitch and where it was delivered? He missed the target by 2 feet. 1 strike to Mauer. And now a ball. The Twins have a bat around inning in the 4th after the Reds sent 10 men to the plate in the 3rd. Mauer with a base hit to left, and Hunter will come to the plate as the tying run. Disastrous outing for Mike Leake.
Let's go back to the home run that Brian Dozier got that pitch up, and watch Barnhart, the catcher, where he's sitting. I want that ball outer half of the plate.
Off the plate.
Yeah. And that ball came right back into the swing for Brian.
Well, trip to the mound by Barnhart, and Hunter, who started this inning with a sharp double to left center field. The pitcher's spot for the Reds due up 4th in the next inning, and that might, as much as anything else, be why Leake is going to get one more chance to get the 3rd out of the inning.
Yeah, pitch number 70 in the ball game for Leake.
And Hunter got a hanger and lifted it foul. I don't think that pitch was where Leake or Barnhart wanted it. 1 strike. Chopper in front of Frazier, and he fires on the run. Nice response by the Twins.
Yes.
They gave up 5 in the bottom of the 3rd. They come back with a 6th spot to make it a game in the 4th. Pitcher's duel here tonight, 9-7. Reds in front. The Twins have in June has not been a good month in the one-loss column, but they have hit a lot more home runs lately.
Yeah, 33 home runs, including Brian Dozier's here tonight. A big 3-run home run. Well, they hit only 30 home runs in the first 41 ball games.
And Marlon Byrd will lead off the fourth against J.R. Graham, and there's a swinging strike.
Yeah, remember, it's getting a little warmer, too. You know, the first month and a half, a little cooler as it gets warmer, especially here at this ballpark in Milwaukee. Balls seem to jump a little bit further. And here's J.R. Graham making his 21st relief appearance. His job, put some zeros on the board.
And do it quickly. Foul back, 2 strikes. Imagine a world here where Graham has his 1-2-3 inning and maybe just throws 10 to 15 pitches, gets the Twins back in the dugout where they've spent an awful lot of time out in the field. The momentum you gain from a 6-run fourth would feed right into, you would think, or hope anyway, a good 5th inning.
Yeah, Graham worked last on Friday in that 10-4 game in Milwaukee that the Twins lost, 2 shutout innings.
Wow.
Good breaking ball right there, picks up a strikeout, but even in that 2 shutout innings, he threw 44 pitches.
If you could just bottle that at bat, how Graham attacked Byrd with a high fastball and then dropped this on him.
Yeah, and that's a nasty slider right there by Graham.
1 down, and now Barnhart. Be interested to see what the Reds do here in the bottom of the 4th inning with Leake due up 4th. There's a drive to center. Rosario drifting back, and 4 pitches, 2 outs here in the 4th. And Suarez will hit next. Car Soup trivia. Were the 3 Reds in the last All-Star game played in Cincinnati. Well, they won the World Series 2 years later with the Nasty Boys. Got to believe Eric Davis was on that list, wasn't he? 2 down quickly. Here is Suarez. And strike 1.
Well, probably Barry Larkin, one of them.
Yes, you'd think so, yeah. 1-1. Swing and a miss.
Good off-speed pitch. That might be that split finger right there. He kind of jams that ball in as Pelfrey does. And behind him you can see the split.
And a solid single to center with 2 outs in the 4th.
Suarez picking up his 2nd hit. Fastball right there that didn't have a lot of movement.
What might be at play here with Leake coming to the plate is the fact that the Reds had to use their bullpen an awful lot yesterday. They had a suspended game on Saturday, had to complete the game. It went 13 innings. Then they had to play a regular game. 6 relievers pitched a total of 9 innings yesterday. And so that certainly not because of effectiveness, but that might explain why Leake is out there hitting in the 4th, expecting to pitch in the 5th.
He has 71 pitches. Suarez takes off. Good throw by Suzuki, but Suarez steals 2nd. His 2nd stolen base of the year, and the 4th stolen base for the Reds in the ballgame. The other 3 by Billy Hamilton.
And the Twins are going to perhaps take a look at this. Dozier feels like he may have gotten the tag on, and so well, now Graham's going to the rubber, so it doesn't matter. If the batter's in the box and the pitcher's on the rubber, you forfeit your chance to challenge the play. And now down and away, 1-1.
A good throw by Suzuki, but Suarez had a great jump. And I think he got that right foot on the bag before Dozier got the tag on him. Been a tough year for Kurt Suzuki throwing out runners, but a lot of it, I'm going to say 80%, because of the pitcher.
Well, when you see, as has happened here, when the runner goes on the very first pitch, boom. Hamilton was at second, then he was at third. Even Suarez went on the first pitch. 1-2 to the pitcher.
Boy, he made a great throw on Hamilton at third base. It's just Hamilton's kicked out the ball out of Trevor Plouffe's glove.
Swung
good
on this. And Graham runs off the mound. He did everything quickly in that fourth inning and kept the Reds off the board. It's a 9-7 game.
We have a 0.
MC fans of the game, Twins fans here in Cincinnati, watching a remarkable comeback that isn't quite complete. And Trevor Plouffe, who has 2 hits, 2 runs scored, will lead off the 5th. Mike Leake, the pitcher, can hit a little bit, so Brian Price let him hit, knowing that he's going to make a pitching change anyway. Nate Adcock comes into the ball game out of the Cincinnati bullpen.
Yeah, Nate Adcock, new to the Reds. He started in the minor leagues last year with the Texas Rangers, getting called up on June 7th. Adcock, 27 years old, from Elizabethtown, Kentucky. About an hour and a half. I guess it would be almost southwest of here.
Just on the other side of the Ohio River. I've been told it's the Ohio River out there, that the Licking River, which is what I was told, and I'm trying to, place myself here with the landmarks and all that in a city I'm not used to coming in. Someone told me that there's the name of the river out there is called the Licking River, but that's just a tributary, that it's the Ohio that separates Ohio from Kentucky. 1 strike to Plouffe. Rosario and Suzuki will bat as well here.
So that river goes all the way through Pittsburgh then.
Yeah.
By 3 rivers.
Along with, all right, now
Monongahela.
Yes.
Is Ohio, and the Allegheny.
There you go.
All right.
1-1 to Trevor Plouffe.
Got a report on Adcock: a sinking fastball, a slider, sharp curveball, and a changeup. Originally signed by the Mariners back in 2006. Came up with the Royals in 2011 and 12. And then last year a little bit with the Rangers.
Loof lifts it in foul ground. Votto and the catcher Barnhart. And it's Barnhart with the catch, one away. That'll bring up Rosario. Join us July 7th for Celebrate Diversity Day, presented by the Prairie Island Indian Community. The first 10,000 fans through the gates get a Twins drawstring backpack courtesy of Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Go to twinsbaseball.com. Get your tickets today. Here's Rosario with 2 singles. Strike one. Earlier we were talking about Ron Gardenhire, who will be inducted into the National Baseball Congress Hall of Fame. Congratulations as well to our friend and your former teammate Frank Viola, who today was inducted into the College Baseball Hall of Fame.
Played his college ball out of St. John's, out of New York.
0-2 to Rosario. Inside, 1-2. Suzuki on deck. Chop foul. Twins with a very short start by Mike Pelfrey. 8 earned runs in 2 innings. Alex Meyer was charged with a run, but a 6 spot in the 4th has brought the Twins back to within 9-7. Lifted to the left field corner, but twisting foul. Rosario playing some in center in the absence of Aaron Hicks, who is in Rochester. Played a doubleheader yesterday, got a hit, threw a runner out at the plate. I guess the throw to the plate probably more important than anything that happened at the plate, because the injury that put Hicks on the disabled list was a forearm strain. 1-2. And a foul. When healthy, the Twins have a glut of center fielders, and that's one of the reasons, one of their better hitting prospects right now. Max Kepler's been moved to other positions. First base, right field. Kepler is just tearing the cover off the ball in Double-A. Imagine the Twins sometime soon taking some of that talent that Doug Minkiewicz is managing and moving it up a level to see if it can continue to do well at Triple-A. Two and two. Adam Brett Walker, who we saw in spring training, immense power, just hit his 23rd home run tonight. And last time I checked, his batting average was in the 270 range, still striking out an awful lot.
Right. But we saw him in spring training. Very powerful swing. When he makes contact, that ball jumps off his bat.
2-2 to Rosario.
Good at bat for Rosario right here, fouling off some pitches.
Fell behind 0-2. Now he's even the count. And he's tired of waiting for Adcock, who will have a chat with his catcher. What kind of odds do you think you would have gotten this year or any year in the last 5-10 years. If someone would have said, you know, by the end of June, the first place teams are going to include the Houston Astros, the Kansas City Royals, and the Tampa Bay Rays.
Not much.
2-2 to Rosario. 3-2 right now. The Rays essentially in a tie with the Orioles in the East. Kansas City's got a fairly big cushion in the Central, and Houston with a 4-game lead in the West. Royals are playing in Houston. Full count now. 9th pitch of this at bat. And wow. Rosario takes a 1-out walk.
What a good at bat.
That'll bring up Suzuki. Suzuki with a ground ball double play and a strikeout. Been waiting for another chance, and he's got it here in the 5th. Rosario runs pretty well. Suzuki hoping to get a hit, maybe an extra base hit to get the Twins to within 1.
And Rosario at first, 5 stolen bases in 7 attempts. We'll take a look at Adcock's delivery home. How quick he is.
Rosario goes. He did not get a good jump, spun his wheels, and he's thrown out. He tried to take off, and Rosario standing on the bag thinking he may have gotten in, but he spun his wheels trying to take off from first base.
Yeah, he didn't get the jump I think he wanted right here. Barnhart coming in. Right over the top throw to second base. Quick tag by De Jesus.
Last year, the first year we had replay, it seemed like most of the calls were at first base. And just my impression, most of the challenges now are at second base. And a thumbs up. Thumbs up from Joe Vavra to Paul Molitor. Somebody, Sean Harlan, must have seen something. Let's take a look. Whether
sweeping tag, maybe he missed him.
Maybe De Jesus didn't even touch him.
That's what maybe Rosario was saying. Hey, he didn't touch me, even though the throw was there before.
He fanned on him. I think he missed. He might have gotten under the armpit, but after the foot hit the bag. Yeah.
I don't think he made contact, right?
And that's Rosario saying he never touched me. So the Twins, who decided not to challenge early in the ball game, are using one here, and this one looks like they might win it.
Well, you can see that the throw definitely beat Rosario to the bag, but De Jesus with that sweeping tag, Rosario doesn't feel like he touched him. I guess the Twins feel the same.
A little shrug of the shoulders as Paul Molitor watches the replay on the video board here. Jerry Lane to your right. Hunter Wendelstedt, the umpire, to your left, and I have no earthly idea who the guy in the middle is. But he looks official. Barnhart will be as interested as anybody else as to what the outcome is here. The umpires, while waiting for New York to rule, are looking at yet another replay. It sure does not appear that Rosario was ever touched.
I'll give you a couple looks here to see what you think at home. Did Rosario get touched underneath his armpit, his right armpit?
The jersey, and then you have to watch the left foot and when it made contact with the base. Calls like this are the ones managers have complained about, where the feeling is that there's no evidence that a tag was ever made, was there? But you have to have evidence that the call was wrong.
See, it's the left foot that gets to the bag.
I think you could make the case that the tag isn't applied until it makes contact, the glove, with the underside of his right leg, and by that point the foot is on the bag. But is there enough evidence to overrule the call? And what managers have said, Brad Ausmus, Joe Madden, that calls that were overturned last year have not been overturned this year. And this has been a long delay.
This is one of the longer ones.
And at stake here is whether Rosario's in scoring position for Suzuki, who will get an extra base hit now and then, but basically he's a singles hitter. The runner at scoring position with 1 out, or the base is empty and 2 out. Suzuki with 47 hits and a dozen extra base hits.
Yeah, looks like they're about ready to take the headsets off. Jerry Lane, a crew chief, 27 years that he has been umpiring. Hunter Wendelstedt,
safe at second.
They call him safe. A 17-year vet.
The Twins steal a base. Rosario is in scoring position for Suzuki with 1 out.
I think that's the hardest thing for a manager, because, you know, Rosario said he never touched me, and, you know, I think a lot of runners say you never touched me, and then you show it back and they did. But Rosario was right on right there, so Rosario gets a stolen base, his 6th of the year.
Suzuki at the plate with 1 out and an 0-1 count. 4 minutes 16 seconds the delay. To the backstop, and Rosario will get to third. That's a factor too. I mean, you could relate to it certainly better than I can, but you're a pitcher out there, whether you're a starter or a reliever, and you're in the game, you're throwing pitches, and then you have a delay of that long. I'm amazed there aren't more wild pitches right after delays.
Well, you get to throw, even though, you know, it took 4 minutes to review. You could stay loose and, you know, throw with your catcher or an infielder. Well, that ball just got, that was a wild pitch right there by Adcock. His first wild pitch of the year.
Middle infield back with Rosario at third. Chopped foul, 1-2.
All Kurt needs to do is just get it by the pitcher up the middle. And he's got an RBI.
Even though Vargas didn't deliver a hit in a pinch hitting appearance in the 4th, the Twins were able to take advantage of the scoring opportunity they had with the 3-run home run by Dozier. And now a chance here with another runner in scoring position and 1 out. One and 2. Two and 2. Suzuki still one of the toughest guys in the league to strike out, although he did strike out for the 26th time on the season in his last at bat. 2-2. And he strikes out again. A pitch a foot and a half outside.
Adcock picks up a strikeout, his first. Good sinking fastball, down and away.
Well, the Twins need a pick me up from Escobar. Take a 2-out hit or another wild pitch to get Rosario in from third. Rosario hit a double to right center field his last time up. Scored on the Dozier home run. Down and away, ball one. Pitcher spot is due up next, and the Twins have already used one of their 4 potential pinch hitters. So if you're Adcock, you're going to pitch this guy awfully carefully, one would think. Up the middle to the glove of the pitcher, and Adcock gets Escobar. And the Twins leave Rosario at third.
Twin fans, don't forget at Twin home games, you bring your Circle Me signs. And if you get circled, you may find yourself in a Minnesota Lottery winner circle where you could win $100 worth of lottery scratch-off tickets, courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery.
I've already sharpened my pencil twice. J.R. Graham was in the on-deck circle, and he will pitch and hopefully throw strikes to Billy Hamilton.
Well, he did that in the 4th inning. A couple strikeouts. He did give up a base hit to Suarez, but a good inning for J.R. Graham. 12 pitches, 10 strikes.
Twins carrying 13 pitchers, so of course 12 position players and 4 bench players, and you know, the Twins are trying to come back from a 9-1 deficit here. The pitcher spot will be due up here in the 6th, and that means very likely this is Graham's last inning.
Well, they got to throw strikes to this guy right here. Keep his speed off the bases. They already walked him twice. Mike Pelfrey walked him twice. Excuse me, Pelfrey walked him once, and Meyer walked him.
He only walked 15 times all year, and the Twins have walked him twice. 2-0. Two and one. Hamilton started the game for the Reds with a bunt single, and by inning's end they had a 3-run first inning. Then they added another in the second, a 5-run third. It was 9-1, but then the Twins answered with a 6-run fourth. In the air over the screen, and it's 2-2. Trevor Plouffe started as Graham was looking in for the pitch. Trevor Plouffe was 60 feet away. He was almost as close as Graham was.
Yeah, and then Brian Dozier has to play a shallow second base, so he was moving in too. Blue still on the grass.
2-2 to Hamilton. Chop to third. Plouffe has to hurry. Firing on the run. Nice stretch at first, but Hamilton has another infield hit.
All right, just beat that ball right off the plate. Trevor Plouffe didn't have a chance to get much on that throw as his momentum was going toward the Twins dugout.
Chopped it off the plate, so it's anybody's guess where the second bounce would have taken the ball. So a leadoff single, and Hamilton, who usually doesn't hit in the leadoff spot, is only hitting there because Brandon Phillips is out with a couple of hand injuries. He's been on base 4 times in 5 innings. And now it's Graham's job to throw over 15 times if he needs to. Just try to
wear him out.
Discourage Hamilton from stealing second. Hamilton stole 3 bases in the first 3 innings. Long hold and another throw.
This is where speed as a pitcher, sometimes you have to worry about Hamilton, but you don't want to take away from what you're trying to do to get a strike over the plate either.
Pitch out on the first pitch. There's the third throw over.
A lot of those signs right there are coming from the dugout.
And it's worth a reminder, I suppose, that when viewers see the catcher looking into the dugout for a sign, it's not for pitch selection. In college, maybe, not here. No.
Well, see, that's right there. You know, Graham tried to hurry his delivery right there, and that ball was way up in the strike zone. That's where, you know, that speed that Ricky Henderson or Billy Hamilton can play with your mind out on that mound, especially a youngster like Graham.
And that's what's enticing about Byron Buxton, too. That type of speed can really disrupt a game. 1-0. Slide step and a pitch fouled back.
Yeah, all you can do on a potential base stealer like Hamilton is make him stop. Don't let him take that walking lead. Because he's like Buxton. You know, I mentioned Buxton. He's one of those guys, Ricky Henderson, that within a stride, they're already at full stride. Sometimes it takes a guy that, you know, not as quick, couple 2-3 steps to get to his full stride. But not Hamilton. Saw him kind of moving towards second and a throw over. Speed always moving.
He's been thrown out 6 times. He could have been thrown out a 7th time if he hadn't kicked the ball out of Trevor Plouffe's glove.
Yeah, last year he stole 56 bases, but he was thrown out 23 times. You watch his feet, he's just creeping towards second. Billy Hatcher, the first base coach. He'll get out there and then he'll just take a couple more get set, a couple more baby steps.
A pitch hit down the right field line. Hunter chasing it. Sliding catch in foul territory. Fine play by Torrey Hunter. Playing in his first game in this ballpark and playing it like a veteran down in that right field corner where it looks like there's about 7-8 feet of foul territory.
Remember DeJesus in the first inning kind of inside out of the ball right down that right field line. So Torrey was shading him over there. And got a real good read, real good jump in foul territory. Slides and makes the catch for the first out.
And then aware of who's on the bases, realizing he had to get up and get the ball back into the infield quickly. Here's Votto. throw, getting Hamilton back to the bag. By my count, that's 6 tosses back to first. Well, fans don't like it, but what are the Twins supposed to do? The guy's stolen 3 bases in 3 innings, and he's on base again. You have to throw over there in excess if need be, but you're back in this game. If the score was 9-1, then maybe Hamilton doesn't even think about stealing a base, but you're back in the game now. The Reds are going to do whatever they can to get him to second. Down and in, a ball.
Let's take another look at Torrey Hunter on this catch right here. Makes the catch, slides, uses a wall to get back up, and said, see that gold? I got 9 of those. I got 9 of those.
One and 0 to Votto. Foul.
Votto with that 2-run single in the 5-run 3rd inning.
Graham faced 4 batters in the 4th, but everything happened quickly. Even Suarez's single and the stolen base all happened with some pace. But boy, here in the 5th inning, Hamilton chopping his second base hit of the ball game, and Graham's thrown more baseballs to first base than home plate ever since Hamilton reached. There he goes, and the pitch is inside, and a throw. Not in time. 4th stolen base of the game for Billy Hamilton.
You know what? I mean, a great throw by Suzuki, but he had a great jump. He is so quick. His 40th stolen base of the year. It just, you can almost see he's tiptoeing over towards second. And there he goes. Slides directly into the bag, able to keep his foot on it. Definitely a game changer with that speed. Now keep an eye on him at second.
Ground ball hit to second. Dozier has it. Over to Mauer. Hamilton to third with 2 down. That'll bring up Frazier. Tomorrow, again, the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup semifinals begin. Alex Morgan and Team USA take on Germany with a trip to the final on the line. Coverage begins tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central on your local Fox station, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. I'm, again, of German heritage, but
go USA.
Go USA.
Yes.
2 down. And the Reds are in the bottom of the 5th, where the Twins were in the top of this inning. Runner at third with 2 out, and Frazier at the plate. Showing bunt. And ball 1.
And Trevor didn't even move at third.
Graham trying to post his second scoreless inning for him and for the team in this game. Fouled away. 1-1. One and 1 to Todd Frazier. High fly to right, and Hunter getting under it. And a couple of scoreless innings for J.R. Graham, and it's still 9-7. by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. By NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. Nearly full moon over Great American Ballpark. J.R. Graham giving the Twins 2 scoreless innings, and now Shane Robinson will hit for him.
Yeah, Shane, as you mentioned, Dick, 2 of the 3 hits the Twins have had as a pinch hitter. 2 for 3 so far for Shane.
Yeah. There's a part of me, a very small part of me, but a part of me that wanted Shane or J.R. Graham to hit here because, I mean, you know the story about Moonlight Graham.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Chisholm, Minnesota. And he got into a game and never got a chance to hit. Now, this was J.R. Graham's chance here to be the first Graham involved with the state of Minnesota to have an at-bat.
Well, hopefully he'll get it sometime this summer.
Robin,
got to happen quick, doesn't it?
Yeah,
this is it.
Tomorrow or Wednesday.
Yeah.
Robinson taking strike 1, strike 2. He got a pinch hit yesterday in Milwaukee, just the 3rd Twins pinch hit. His 2nd. Twins as a pinch hitting unit now, 3 hits and 30 at bats with 2 runs batted in.
Yeah, good job by J.R. Graham too. 2 shutout innings.
And 1-2. Well, the Twins really left with Eduardo Nunez as a bench player to realistically be used. Chris Herman's the other bench player. Of course, he's the backup catcher, and most of the time those players don't enter a game within the game. It'll be Robinson, Santana, and Dozier here in the 6th. 1-2. 2-2. You saw Adcock do this in the Rosario at bat. Got ahead of him 0-2, and then Rosario worked the count even, fouled off some pitches along the way, and ended up drawing a walk. Three and 2. And the Reds had the completion of a suspended game yesterday, and then the regular game. The suspended game went all the way to 13 innings. Santana on deck. Full count to Robinson. Fouled back. And then, too, they're a little handicapped in the position player department because Brandon Phillips couldn't play. He's got hand injuries, one to his right hand, one to his left hand. So that helped explain why Leake hit for himself, even though he knew he was going to be taken out of the game. Usually a team up 9-1 has got the advantage in terms of bench moves. But Brian Price a little handicapped himself, and now it's a 2-run game. Another 3-2 to Shane Robinson. Popped up, it's backing out of play.
Well, these foul balls right here, the last 2, important because Adcock, we saw last inning against Rosario, you know, got ahead in the count, and then he started missing that strike zone. 27 pitches, 15 strikes.
Another 3-2. Foul tip. Ninth pitch of this at bat.
Manny Parra warming up. One of 2 lefties in that bullpen for the Reds.
And another foul off the bat of Robinson. This is a little eerie. I just got a text from a friend of mine. It's in 1905. This is the date Moonlight Graham got into the game.
Is that right?
For the New York Giants.
Wow.
I had no idea. Three and two to Shane Robinson. Ball four.
All those foul balls. So a great at bat by Robinson.
And now Santana will bat. Santana got an RBI single. And while that was all well and good, that made it a 9-4 ball game. And then Dozier followed with a 3-run home run on an 0-2 pitch, and suddenly the Twins were in business. Santana 1 for 2. Robinson runs well, Santana runs well, Dozier does. Twins have been victimized by speed on the bases. Maybe they can use some of their own here.
Yeah, Shane with 3 stolen bases in 4 attempts.
Now Adcock doing what he can to keep Robinson pegged at first. Santana bunts it. And Adcock pushes a throw to first. Sacrifice will be given Santana, and Robinson goes to second. Dozier's Deck is back for this year on August 29th. A special offer including a Skyline Deck ticket and a Dozier Blaze Orange Camo Jersey t-shirt. Portion of the proceeds from every ticket sold benefits Pheasants Forever. Call 833-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com/Dozier's Deck. Get your tickets today. Curious whether Paul Molitor called for the bunt there or whether Santana did it on his own. I suspect Santana did that on his own.
I don't think so.
Dozier takes outside a ball. We're down 2. We're in the 6th. Twins running short of outs. Santana, particularly from the left side, pretty good speed. You wouldn't think he'd be a double play candidate. And a strike, 1-1.
Well, Dozier big at bat in the 4th inning with his 16th home run of the year. Big 3-run home run for Bryant.
Popped up down the right field line. It'll reach the seats.
Back in the 3rd inning, Brian Dozier took a call 3rd strike. And went back and was not happy. And then the 4th took that frustration out on that high pitch for that 3-run home run.
The home run came on an 0-2 pitch. This will be a 1-2 pitch. And a breaking ball struck him out. Looked like the same breaking ball that struck out Suzuki.
Adcock picking up his 2nd strikeout. Nasty slider right there. Great location. Good tight spin on this pitch.
2 down, and now Mauer. Joe with a line out to center, struck out swinging in the third, and then he lined a single to left right after the Dozier home run. And Robinson to third, and he goes in standing up, no throw.
So Robinson credited with a stolen base, second stolen base for the Twins in the ball game, and for Shane his fourth stolen base in 5 attempts. Now Joe's hit 4 home runs, 3 of them coming in interleague play. One against the Pirates in Pittsburgh that ended up winning the ball game, one in Milwaukee at home, and one against the Cardinals at home.
Strike 2.
His other home run coming against the White Sox, John Danks.
And Barnhart going to the mound. Talk to Adcock. Twins left a runner at third in the 5th inning. In fact, Rosario got there with 1 out, and the Twins didn't get him in. Now Twins are looking for Mauer to deliver a 2-out hit. Checks his swing 1 and 2. That'll cut the Cincinnati lead in half. Ground ball right side. DeJesus has it. Throws Mauer out. And the Twins leave Robinson at third. It's still 9-7. Where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. Second time on this now 4-game road trip where the Twins bullpens had to pitch most of the game, and the latest reliever to come in to pitch to the Reds in the 6th inning is Ryan Presley.
Yeah, Ryan making his 25th relief appearance. He worked in yesterday's ball game, 1 shutout inning, 9 pitches, 7 first strikes. 3 wins, 2 losses on the year for Presley.
We'll face Jay Bruce, Marlon Byrd, and Tucker Barnhart. Shane Robinson staying in the game, taking over in left field. And now Bruce stands out of the box, and the Twins will swing Trevor Plouffe over to the right side of the infield.
Yeah, which means that the pitcher will hit in the number 7 hole, Escobar's hole. In the lineup.
Dozier cuts it off. 1 pitch, 1 out. So 1 down, and now Marlon Byrd. Reds' biggest issue this year, breaking down the season so far, has been winning on the road. They're just 14-26 on the road. They've got a similar record, not quite as good as the Twins. Twins are 25-15 at home. And how about this? On a pace to win 50 home games this year, the Twins are, after averaging 49 losses over the last 4 years at home.
Let's hope it happens.
1 strike to Byrd, and now 2. But the Reds are 20-14 at home, holding their own in their division, 15-16. That's one area where the Twins have not done as well as they would like for a contending team. The Twins are actually 1 game below 500 within the American League Central, and that's why, even though the Tigers are behind the Twins, you look at their divisional record and you realize that even though the Royals are in front, might be the Tigers that are the team to beat, because they are in the American League Central 26-14.
Royals are 19-12.
2 strikes. Busted bat, and that'll die in front of Robinson for a 1-out single.
Yeah, breaking ball stayed up right there, and Byrd picks up his 2nd hit.
That'll bring up Barnhart. Barnhart has 2 hits to left field and a fly ball to center. Twins 2 more games here in Cincinnati and 4 in Kansas City. And by the time the Twins get back to Target Field, we'll be into the second half of the season. Twins will leave Kansas City, weather permitting, of course, having played 82 games. 1-0 to Barnhart. And that one hit to left center field. Diving attempt, and the ball gets by Rosario. Robinson picks it up, hits the cutoff man. It'll be a double for Barnhart. And the Reds put together a threat here in the 6th.
Yeah, good effort by Rosario, and Robinson backing up, but the ball got by him. And Barnhart with his 3rd hit on his 4th double of the year. Waits back nicely. Hits the ball the other way.
Just missed making a diving catch. Twins have to bring the infield in now. Suarez has a couple of hits. Robinson with a nice job retrieving it, keeping Byrd from scoring. And a big at bat here. Reds are going to send a pinch hitter up after Suarez. Down and away, ball 1.
That's where Presley would like to pick up a strikeout. He's got 20 strikeouts in 24 2/3 innings.
One and 0. Swing and a miss. Suarez has had some defensive issues as of late for the Reds. At least 1 error in each of the last 4 games, but he's gotten a couple of hits here tonight, including that 2-run double. 1-1. Two and 1. Skip Schumacher in the on-deck circle. He'll hit in the pitcher spot. Squeeze play. Beautifully executed. Bird scores. And Suarez has his third hit of the night.
And driving in his third run of the ball game. So a perfectly executed squeeze play. Bird took off, and the bunt laid down that third baseline. You can hear everybody screaming, he's going. And no play.
Could you have laid down? You couldn't have taken it out of your pocket and rolled it down into a better spot. 3 straight hits, a big run for the Reds, and they're still not done. Schumacher will hit first and third, 1 away. Infield in again. Middle infielders will hold out some hope for a typical ground ball double play. They're not in all the way on the edge of the grass.
Schumacher, the most used pinch hitter by Brian Price. 29 at bats. He has 9 hits.
One of the issues the Reds have, though, talked about it from the Twins' perspective, not much of a bench in terms of productive pinch hitting, and that's been an issue here for the Reds too. 17 hits, no home runs, 6 runs batted in, and nearly 100 at bats. Outside 2-0. Graham, a couple of scoreless innings, but he did give up a hit in each inning. Left a runner at second, left a runner at third. We should make the distinction between the squeeze play that the Brewers put on the Twins Friday night. Kyle Loesch was at the plate. That was a safety squeeze. The runner from third did not come home until the ball was put down on the ground. This was a straight squeeze play. The runner from third coming in as the pitch was being delivered. There's a strike incumbent on the bunter, in this case Suarez. He's got to make contact.
Right. Now you got that opportunity again to maybe, I mean, your 3-1 count right here. Will they try another squeeze? You have to guess Presley's going to throw a fastball here.
Check on the runner at first. Swing and a miss, 3-2.
Threw him a breaking ball. Good pitch.
Riggleman giving the signs near the third base coach's box. Decent bet, I would think, here that Suarez would be taking off. There he goes. And the pitch line foul. Schumacher hooking one over near the tarp. Badly needed to score the next run after drawing to within 9-7. They didn't get it done, and now the Reds have an insurance run in the 6th. Full count to Schumacher. Runner goes, swing and a miss, and the Twins won't even throw for fear of the runner Barnhart coming in from third. All right, let's go back to Friday in Milwaukee. Kyle Loesch at the plate. This on the left is a safety squeeze.
Right, the runner's not going until that ball is laid down to throw high. But Segura slides in underneath the tag. And here tonight you see Bird taking off as soon as that ball was delivered toward home for a perfectly executed squeeze play.
Second and third, 2 down, and now Billy Hamilton. Twins have not done a good job keeping him off the bases, and you know that was maybe even priority number 1 at the start of this series. 2 hits, 2 walks, 3 runs scored, 4 stolen bases, and a lazy fly to left. Robinson ends the inning. 1 for the Reds in the 6th, and they lead by 3 as we go to the 7th.
The Reds came out with 3 runs in the first inning off of Mike Pelfrey, but the Twins came back with 1 of their own in the second. But the Reds added a big 5-run in the bottom of the third. But the Twins, here they come. They hit around like the Reds did. This time in the top of the 4th. Santana with the RBI single. That set up Brian Dozier's 3-run home run. That made it a 9-7 ball game. But then the Reds come back with a perfectly executed squeeze bunt that scored Bird. And the Reds have a 10-7 lead.
Take a breath.
I'm okay.
10-7 Reds in front. Twins will hit in the 7th against a new Cincinnati relief pitcher.
Yeah, Manny Parra coming into the ballgame. Twins saw him when he was with the Milwaukee Brewers, making his 19th relief appearance. He spent some time on a disabled list, about a month with a neck strain. I always get a kick when I read that guys have neck strains. If anybody had a neck strain, it should have been me.
With all the home runs he gave up?
Yeah. But Parra with a not an overpowering fastball, sharp curveball, split finger, and a slider. All 4 pitches.
Hunter bunts. It backs up on the grass. And nice play by Barnhart, calling the pitcher off and throwing Hunter out.
Yeah, I think Torrey wanted to take that ball down the third baseline. It ended up right between the home plate and the pitcher's mound. And Barnhart, who's having a good day offensively, shows off his defense ability, barehands it. A quick throw over to Votto for the first out.
1 down. Twins again running out of outs. They've only got 8 left. And here's Plouffe. 2 hits, 2 runs scored. And strike 1. 1-1. Parra really tough against lefties, and from up here I can guess as to why that might be. You can read both numerals on the back of his jersey. He really turns his shoulders toward the second baseman. Here's a drive to right and hit fairly well, but Bruce is there, out number 2. So we'll see how Rosario sees the ball against Parra with 2 down in the 7th. You can follow live Twins baseball every day with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected to the Twins all season with MLB.tv Game of the Day, in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball.
Yeah, left-handers hitting just 154 off of Parra, 4 hits and 26 at bats.
Rosario with 2 hits and a walk. Maybe the walk was the most impressive, although that second hit when he was behind in the count and he was able to get the barrel of the bat on it was impressive. But Rosario fell behind 0-2 in the 5th and ended up drawing a walk after a number of 2-strike fouls. And now he takes ball 2. Well, we can see Parra from up here with his shoulders turned almost toward the second baseman, and it just seems like that would be a good way to hide the baseball, that split second longer.
That's basically what Rosario's looking at.
It's a hard ground ball foul, 2-1. Eight runs charged to Mike Pelfrey, 1 run charged to Alex Meyer, another run to Ryan Presley. He's got 7 earned runs against Mike Leake in 4 innings. Breaking ball up high, and it's 3-1. Rosario, then Suzuki, then the pitcher spot with the double switch in the last half inning. J.J. Hoover warming up. Fielded by Votto. Parra has a 1-2-3 7th inning. A warm-up pitch from Ryan Presley. I did not see it happen, but Suzuki in very high degree of discomfort. Let's take a look and see what happened.
Yeah, got underneath the mask, right in the neck.
And Suzuki, who's about as tough a customer as I've seen play baseball, when the game is slowed down even for a second, you know something serious has happened, and it looked like he took one right in the throat.
Yeah, the right jaw area, the throat area.
So Presley will continue on with his warm-up tosses. It's already been a less than fun night for Suzuki, who saw Mike Pelfrey get knocked around a lot, and then Alex Meyer was all over the place again tonight in his one inning. Chris Herman, the backup catcher, and remember the Twins will have Suzuki and then the pitcher spot due up in the 8th inning, and they've already used Robinson and Vargas, so they have Nunez and Herman left as bench players.
Oh, Ryan Presley starting his 2nd inning of relief, hoping this one is better than the last when he gave up a run on 3 hits. Twins haven't had a 1-2-3 inning yet.
Swing and a miss by DeJesus. You probably faced his dad, didn't you, when he was with the Cubs and you were with the Pirates?
I think I did, yeah. I'll have to look it up. Scrappy little player was his pops. Played from 1974 to 88.
You played during that time.
Yeah.
And you were with the Pirates in the late 70s.
Yeah.
2 strikes to Junior.
I wonder if he hit a home run off.
You were with the Pirates from 1978
to 1980.
Okay, so that's what, 2.5 years, right?
Total 3.
3 full years with the Pirates? Oh, okay. 1 and 2. 2 and 2. Well, I got to believe his chances were pretty good. 3.
No, he wasn't a home run hitter. He's
no.
Like Junior here, kind of a setup guy. Get on base, utilize your speed.
Off the end of the bat. Well, when we were talking about Tommy Milone yesterday, and we were looking up the list of players who'd hit a home run.
You're going to bring up Jay Bell, aren't you? I knew you were.
You only because you brought it up.
I saw Jay
yesterday.
before the game.
Okay, all right.
You reminded me.
Okay. 2 and 2. What makes that really peculiar? A lot of things, I guess, but
Jay Bell being the bench coach here
for
Brian Price in Cincinnati.
3 and 2. Presley trying to.
Go ahead. We got traded for each other.
Yes.
Yes. You try to look it up. I'll tell you.
Well, I wanted to get the specifics, and now Presley issues a leadoff walk in the 7th. Jay Bell was selected by the Twins, a first-round pick, 8th overall, and to get you back with the Twins, to eventually help lead the Twins to World Series glory,
you have to give up something.
To get something, you got to give up something.
Yeah, Jay Bell is a good player.
Leadoff walk, not what the Twins had in mind here in the 7th. There's Jay Bell.
I'm going to circle him right there.
But he went on to hit something like 200 home runs, didn't he?
Well, it wasn't the only home run he hit. I just got him going.
Here is Votto.
Actually, every time I see Mike Hargrove, he reminds me of Jay Bell's situation, because Hargrove was a manager in AAA when Jay Bell got called up, and he told him, he says, you go up there, and if you face Bird, he's going to throw you a fastball, right? Try to get ahead with a fastball. Be ready. And I did throw a fastball, and I never got it back.
Strike called, 1-1. Jay Bell ended up hitting 195 major league home runs.
could. Right, he just didn't hit one.
One and one to Votto. Kurt Suzuki may get tomorrow off, just based on what's happened to him here tonight.
Ball slipping out of the hands of Ryan Presley as he's trying to get that grip on the baseball.
Jay Bell got a World Series ring with the Diamondbacks in 01. Popped up a foul ball that'll spin back and out of play. Well, our research staff has just found out that Ivan DeJesus Sr., the father of Ivan DeJesus Jr., did not hit a home run against you.
True. But go ahead.
Center field. Robinson with the call. He got 8 hits in 27 at bats against you for a .296 batting average, but you kept him in the yard.
Very nice. True. I'm relieved.
Carsoup.com trivia question. I bet you Tom Browning's on that list.
Barry Larkin and
Eric Davis. And correct answer, Danny Jackson, Barry Larkin, and Chris Sable.
We got Barry Larkin. So ding, 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 ding.
In our liberal grading of the trivia questions, that is a correct answer. A liner to center, and Rosario plays it well. Out number 2.
Well, Frazier hitting it sharply, but right at Rosario for the second out.
I'll bring up Bruce. Bruce, a sacrifice fly in the first when the Reds scored 3 times, then a leadoff double in the third when they scored 5 times. Since then, 0 for 2. Plouffe will swing over to the right side for Bruce. Ball 1. To left center. Rosario's got a long run, and he can't get there off the wall on a hard carry. DeJesus will be waved around, and he'll score on a 2-out double by Jay Bruce.
Yeah, second double in the ball game for Jay Bruce, picking up his second RBI. Got a fastball away to one of the deepest parts here of this hitter's ballpark. 404 straightaway center, and about the same toward that bullpen. Jay Bruce taking that uppercut swing and hitting it off the wall. Ricochets back. Robinson backing up the play. But DeJesus scores for the second time in the game.
Marlon Byrd taps it foul. We saw further evidence of it in Milwaukee when Casey Fiend came in. Leadoff walks, just especially in the late innings. Seems like if it's a bad idea generally in the late innings in a close ball game, it'll hurt you every time. 1 strike. And dug out of the dirt by Suzuki. Thompson's warmed up, ready to come in, and he may come in if Presley can't get the next batter. He's trying to keep this game within range, but the Twins, who climbed back nicely from 9-1, 9-7, We've seen the Reds pick up the next 2 runs, not the Twins.
Ryan trying to get 2 innings in here. 37 pitches. That's the most pitches he's thrown in an outing this year.
Pitcher spot due up second in the 8th inning. Roller to short, should end it. Santana to Mauer, but the Reds got a single run in the 6th, then another one in the 7th, thanks to the leadoff walk.
More for an 11-7 lead. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins LLC.
Kurt Suzuki will lead off the 8th for the Twins. Pinch hitter Eduardo Nunez will hit in the pitcher spot, and then Shane Robinson will hit. With the Twins needing to get back to work here, they put a 6 spot up in the 4th inning, and they're going to need another crooked number here in the late innings.
Manny Parra starting his 2nd inning of relief. A 1-2-3 7th inning.
Suzuki 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. He's bounced into a double play and struck out swinging twice. He's taken a beating behind the plate. If he's not now, or if he wasn't before, he is now triple jointed, trying to catch some of the pitches that have been all over the place tonight. Just took a warm-up pitch out of the dirt into the neck or throat area. 1-0. To right, and a sliding catch by Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce got a pretty good jump. That ball just seemed to stay up a little bit, allowed Bruce to make that sliding catch. Suzuki hit it sharply, but Bruce makes a nice catch in right field. Fastball, and Kurt hitting it sharply, but Bruce. First out catch. Parra says thank you. Eduardo Nunez pinch hitting here for the pitcher Presley.
Fox Tracks presented by Carrier. Up and away, ball 1.
Nunez as a pinch hitter, 0 for 4.
On the ground, sharply to Suarez, 2 down. Well, the Cincinnati bullpen, overworked yesterday, has come in and done a nice job in relief of Mike Leake. Twins haven't gotten a hit against the Reds bullpen.
Yeah, Nate Adcock 2 shutout innings. Manny Parra right now an inning and 2/3 of shutout baseball.
Robinson had a heck of a plate appearance, ended up walking, ending up at third base. Ball one. With Nunez's pinch hitting appearance, the Twins have effectively emptied their bench. Herman, the backup catcher, the only player left. We heard Ron Gardenhire talk about it. We've heard Paul Molitor talk about it. You know, you go into these National League style games, you like to have no more than 12 pitchers, and so you'd say, well, that's why you'd like to have an extra bench move, but then you have 2 short starts like the Twins have had on this road trip, and you're glad you got 13 pitchers. And then you need some players who are pushing the issue or forcing the issue in AAA to get called up here to maybe make a change, and right now Twins really don't have that in Rochester. 3-0 to Robinson. He takes a strike. It's assumed, no guarantee of course, but it's assumed that Aaron Hicks would be the next call up. But the Twins don't seem too inclined to rush that issue, wanting Hicks to get down there and get some at bats so he can get back on the active roster swinging the bat well. That's hit to right, and Bruce jogs after it. A couple of good innings for Parra as he sets down the Twins 3 up 3 down in the 7th and 8th. Good starting pitching, but that's not been the case in 2 of the 4 games here. The Twins will bring Aaron Thompson out of the bullpen to pitch to the Reds in the 8th.
Puts more pressure on those guys out in that bullpen. For Aaron Thompson, his 37th relief appearance.
Ball one.
He worked a shutout inning on Friday in Milwaukee.
We mentioned it early in the season when we were all getting to know Aaron Thompson a little bit better, but Thompson is the only pitcher in the Twins staff who has a different set of signs delivered by the catcher. Suzuki will go and move his hand from shin guard to shin guard, chest protector, mask, so on and so forth. Lined up the middle and a sharp hit. Barnhart is having quite a game. 4 hits in the ball game for the Reds catcher.
Yeah, 3 of them as a left-handed hitter. He came into that as a right-handed hitter. Only 1 hit in 13 at-bats, but seeing the ball well tonight.
Leadoff single against Thompson, and now Suarez will bat. Suarez has picked up 3 hits already, including a squeeze bunt single his last time up.
Yeah, the 4 hits by Barnhart, a career high in hits in a ball game.
Fly ball right field, hit right at Hunter. 1 down. Anyway, Aaron Thompson off the field wears glasses, and he is still in the process, he says, of getting contact lenses, which will help him see better. But to accommodate his lack of eagle vision, Twins catchers are instructed to give a different set of signs for Thompson. Jason Bourgeois will hit in the pitcher spot. One down, 1 on. And outside ball 1. Starter Mike Leake did not pitch 5 innings, so he can't qualify for the win if the Reds in fact win the game. So then you're left with Adcock, Parra. Who would you give the win to?
Probably Adcock.
Because?
Well, because, you know, I mean, he came in, Twins had just scored the 6 runs, and then he put a couple zeros on the board.
Okay. Walked a couple guys.
It's basically up to the official score.
Yeah. 2-1. Three and 1. Bullpen over the course of the month has sprung some leaks. Thompson's been a part of that. There's a strike called, 3-2. Everyone except Glenn Perkins, really. Glenn's been perfect in save opportunities. Swing and a miss. 2 down.
Thompson picks up a strikeout. So Bourgeois goes down on strikes, and only his 2nd at bat for the Reds. And Hamilton kind of got the ball rolling for the offense of the Reds. Infield bunt single in the 1st, then in the 2nd, walk, stole 2 bases, 2nd and 3rd, and then in the 3rd inning stole 2nd base. Scores right there on the base hit, RBI single by DeJesus. So 4 stolen bases here tonight for Hamilton, and then that infield base hit in the 5th. Now Hamilton hitting as a right-handed hitter, where he's hitting .244.
Twins are hoping that in tomorrow's game 2, A, Hamilton won't be on the bases, and then B, he won't come to the plate 6 times in the game. To center field, and Rosario's out there. It'll be a scoreless 8th for Aaron Thompson. Twins got some work to do. Danny Santana will lead it off in the 9th. Aroldis Chapman in a non-save situation will come in to pitch the 9th inning for the Reds. And when you get ready to hit against him, you'd better get ready.
Better look for that fastball, huh? It's clocked at 100 miles an hour or more. Of course, that Kansas City Royal Ball Club with Herrera can get that ball up there. But Chapman, 235 times this season, has gotten that ball over 100 miles an hour. And in his career, this is his 6th season with the Reds. And see, no fooling around out there. He just rears back and lets it fly. 3-time All-Star the last 3 years.
And you can imagine, can't you, that if the National League has the lead here in the All-Star game, that Chapman, like Glenn Perkins, will get a chance to get the save in the All-Star game in his home ballpark. Danny Santana will lead things off. That was 99, and it sounded like 109. It sounded like a rifle shot.
You know, there was talk one time of putting Chapman in that starting rotation, and I look at a guy like Chapman that can throw as hard as he can, like that. I think of Nolan Ryan when he did it for 9 innings like that.
The last time Chapman was on the mound against the Twins, they had that great comeback Mauer with a classic at bat ending up with a double, and then Willingham blasted one into the second deck. He's gone 99, 100, and 101. Any guess how fast the next pitch will be?
Chapman defecting from Cuba back in 2009, signed with the Cincinnati Reds as a free agent.
Well, it's 3-1.
.32 1/3 innings, 56 strikeouts with 19 walks.
Strike call. We're going to say that
Bob Davidson can't see it. It sounded like a strike, he said.
Walks are high. The Twins might need a walk or 2 or 3 here to make this interesting in the 9th. Santana chases, 99 miles per hour, 1 away. Time now for What's Next, brought to you by CenturyLink. And the Twins are hoping that Phil Hughes will give them a much better start than they got here tonight.
He's been pitching really well. His last 4 starts, Phil Hughes has been outstanding, especially the last 2, 8 innings each.
Anthony DeSclafani will start for the Reds. And now Dozier. Can you imagine the bounty that the Reds could get if they traded Chapman to a contending team in the second half of the year?
Well, there's talk here that they would get the most trading him than any other player, if that's a direction that the Reds want to go with more youth.
Last pitch last Thursday, and only 7 pitches back then. He did not pitch in the completed suspended game yesterday or the regular season game. Swing and a miss, 0-2. For a Reds team that apparently needs a lot of help, they need a lot of talent brought to the roster. You can imagine that once we get into July and toward the trading deadline, that teams will be calling. Hop back and out of play.
Well, even a team like Detroit that has really, been hurting out of their bullpen.
Right.
I'd stick them in Kansas City. Let them throw with those other guys that throw up in the upper 90s.
We were talking about that regarding Will Smith the other day, who throws in the mid-90s. That's all they needed in Kansas City was a left-hander who could throw hard.
Right.
2 strikes.
Hart had to leap for that ball. Chapman, 27 years old. They said back in 2010 to Tony Gwynn Jr. he threw a pitch that was clocked at 105.1.
Don't get a chance to see him in person very often, and this was 4 years ago when the Twins were here. They didn't measure these things, but I think the quickest turnaround I've seen in a baseball game was Willingham catching up to that fastball. That ball left here so quickly.
Hit it in the second deck.
Exit velocity was not measured back then, and it's a shame because that would have been one of the quickest turnarounds in baseball. 1-2. 2-2.
That might have been a breaking ball right there.
Chapman looking down on the dirt.
Yeah.
Just a little upset with his location.
That's bat meeting the ball perfectly. That was out of here in a hurry. And that beat the Reds 4-3.
2-2 to Dozier. I don't know how you can even foul off something at 102 miles per hour.
I mean, we know Willingham is strong. I mean, it was a perfect combination of the fastball and that ball hitting the bat perfectly. I guess you have to tell yourself to be quick.
An 88 mile per hour slider. It's 3-2. Dozier's had 3 2-strike fouls in this at bat.
Lay out that high fastball if you can.
Wow. And 101.
Chapman comes in, picks up 2 straight strikeouts.
Santana, well, that was close to the up and away corner. Dozier checking with home plate umpire Bob Davidson. Was that a strike? And I don't know whether Davidson would have called it, but it certainly was close enough to have to swing at it. And here's Mauer, who had one of the best at bats Joe Mauer's ever had in advance of that Willingham home run here 4 years ago. But now the different situation with the Twins down by 4. Ball 1.
If I'm a catcher and I'm breaking in a glove, I bring it out for the 9th inning to face this guy. You'll break in your glove in a heartbeat.
The problem is peeling the glove off your hand at the end of the inning. Joe muttering some words toward Bob Davidson.
Ball outside.
1-1. And strike 2 looked like it was off the plate as well. You can understand hitters expanding the strike zone as Dozier may have and Santana did. But you're up there hoping the umpire doesn't. 102. Joe fouls it over to the Twins dugout. Look at that. That's in his career. 1-2. 103 under your chin.
Well, the previous pitch is away. And this one Up and in on Mauer. Chapman, good size, too. 6'4", about 215.
2-2.
Fastball away. And it's up and in again.
In reality, I mean, the count's full now, but he's thrown one strike to Mauer, and it was a pitch fouled away. Hunter will have a chance if Mauer can extend the game. 101. And that finishes things. Chapman strikes out Santana, Dozier, and Mauer. And the Twins on this road trip are now 1-3. And Anthony LaPanta, they fall to 4 games above the 500 mark.